moviegoers, Jedi's and Sith. I'm your boy Jake Gatto, and welcome to the Boxing and Jedi's Tavern and Temple. And basically, man, we're gonna get into this SJW attack that has just happened. Basically, this morning by some crazy chick who tried to fuck up gamers, who was involved with Gamersgate, Anita Sarkeesian. You know, and her whole tiff and is all because they didn't have basically any females in the Mandalorian. You know, she's complaining about, not having enough females in the Mandalorian and the thing that she's got to understand is that, first of all, it is up to the writers. You know what I mean? It is up to the writers. It's up to the creators of the show. And first of all, this is exactly what destroyed Star Wars in the first place. People like Anita Sarkeesian. You know, as soon as you tell these people and you actually tell them exactly what it is that they're saying that's exactly wrong and how they're not understanding anything about Star Wars, right away they blame it on men. You know, I for one just have to say this. It is bad enough that they have destroyed an American cult classic within I mean it's just they just destroyed it. It's bad enough that we also have to see the destruction within other franchises. It's another thing that us we have to go through as men, where they basically just want to take every man out now and give women the lead roles and shit. This has been done already. It's been done before. Why are you guys kicking and screaming and complaining? You guys want your world molded your way, and it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You're attacking things. You're trying to fix things that don't need fixing. Here we go with the Mandalorian. Peace to everybody that's checking on it, man. Peace to Hybrid 95. Peace to the Fox Strikes and everyone else that's gonna check in, man. Let me tell you something. There's a couple of things that people have to understand about Star Wars. Okay, number one, Star Wars was made for everybody. Number two, there will never be another Star Wars. This is why I don't understand why they decided to add a 7, 8, and fucking 9. And they should have left it alone at fucking and just kept going backwards with it. You see, had they just continued to go backwards with it instead of going forward and trying to end it when the saga was already ended, had they tried to go backwards with it, meaning before episode 1, you know, then we could have been able to do the Knights of the Old Republic. We would have been able to do everything. But we couldn't do it. You know why we couldn't do it? Because for some reason they decided to go forward. They decided to take the franchise and try to listen. Lesson number one, which should have been learned by these motherfuckers, right? Lesson number one: one cannot one cannot modify, one cannot even try to add on to someone who has bought something so iconic. What George Lucas has given us, no one can add on to that. No one. But what they can do is tell the story before that. You see? But you can't tell you got a great storyteller on stage, just told you a great story. Who the fuck is gonna come on after him and tell you a much greater story? No one. No one. But now, if you were on before him, you have that chance. If you were on before him or you're on after him and you're talking about what was before his story, but you're adding on. You understand what I'm saying? This is exactly what they should have done. They should have done the Knights of the Old Republic, Darth Bane. They should have just took it backwards. They should have just taken it backwards. You know, they would have been able to do the Boba Fett movie correctly, the Ben Kenobi. But now, since they wanted to match up with George Lucas's work and they wanted to erase everything and they wanted to make everything new for no fucking reason, your agendas are exactly what destroyed it. And Disney, let me tell you something now. With The Mandalorian, you've got something special. You've got something special. Do not politicize the shit. Do not put anything behind it. No agendas. What's no feminism? No nothing. Nothing. This is sci-fi. We don't need anything gay in there. We don't need anything transsexual in there. We don't need anything feminist in there. We don't need anything that's not of imagination. These are fucking movies and programs and TV programs that are made to help us escape. Why is it that we have to have the realism of what we go through in our fucking lives and what we hear and what we see on the fucking news? It has to be all over the fucking screens. The screens that we watch in order to escape. The programs that we watch in order to escape. The fucking book, the reading material, the source that we go to escape. It's also got to have that shit in it. Like, what is the fucking problem? Did you guys get picked on and beat up when you were younger? Did your parents not hear you? Does anybody hear you? Like, is this a reason why you guys have formed a fucking cult and have gone out there and tried to destroy everything that's good for us? So now, this fucking retarded chick, Anita Sarkeesian, who, if people are familiar with this bitch, she tried to do Gamersgate shit and fuck Gamersgate up, and it was part of that Gamersgate shit, that whole conspiracy, It's just now she's coming into Star Wars and she's bringing her fucking little friends, and now they want to just totally fucking talk shit to the Mandalorian. Now they, oh, there's not a female lead role in the Mandalorian. What the fuck for? What the fuck for? Are you trying to get men to feel the way you feel about men, with women to say fuck women? We're never gonna say that because we know the difference. You guys don't know the fucking difference. We know the difference between a good woman and a fucking stupid SJW like yourself and everyone that fucking falls behind you. You're the only one that wants to. Well, not, yeah, you guys are the only ones, blooded, that wants to, just tear shit down. And you want things your way. You want people to cater to you. Well, nobody's gonna cater to your fucking bullshit because you guys have no originality whatsoever. Whatsoever. The Mandalorian, Greg Favreau and what is it, John Favreau and Filoni and them. You know what? They just may take over Lucasfilms, and if they do, let it happen. Because so far, I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing with the Mandalorian. That's about it. I haven't paid for a Disney subscription. I get mine from a certain free stream. But I like The Mandalorian. This is something that's giving me Star Wars feels again. The last thing we need is a stupid fucking hoe like you, Anita Sarkeesian. See me in court if you want. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? We need a fucking stupid bitch like you to come out of nowhere and express the way she feels and get into her feelings. Like if we give a fuck, like if your feelings matter, right? And you want us to just change the course of how we feel about Star Wars because you feel that there aren't any lead women or enough women within the Mandalorian. Who gives a fuck? And did you even know, you stupid fucking bitch, that they were adding Gina Carino, Ming Na Wei, and a couple of other females on it? But you guys want things your way. See, you're fucking spoiled brats, each and every one of you. Oh, the only thing adult about you, if is your fucking age. You guys are like fucking 20 in your late 20s, in your early 30s, and you're still stomping and kicking and screaming like you used to in the aisle of fucking Walmart and shit like that with your parents, dude. Really? So you don't like a movie, you feel like there's not enough fucking gender in it or enough fucking racism. Here we go. I'm writing a letter and you want to fuck everything up. Well, you know what? You guys can go ahead and do that because as long as we stand up harder and we say to ourselves, you know what? And we show them this is what we want. Because I guarantee you, everybody that's watching The Mandalorian right now are old school fucking Star Wars heads. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. The moment they add just a piece of propaganda in it, it's going to get to a point. where it's gonna get to a point where we're just gonna walk away. Everybody, welcome the Mighty Mazer. What's going on, brother?
Well, obviously, it's a false flag operation. I mean, the globalists.
Alex Jones, what's going on, brother? What's
Look,
going on, ladies?
here's the deal. And he always says that. Here's the
Hmm.
deal. Anyway,
Well, here's the
not,
deal.
where are we at on this?
Well, we're talking about, remember Anita Sarkeesian?
Ugh, how
Yeah,
can I
well,
forget?
she brought her little fucking band of fucking hoaistic fucking SJWs over to the Mandalorian. Now she's kicking and screaming about, the Mandalorian doesn't have a woman in the lead. It should, and there aren't enough women within the program itself. And I'm just like, first of all, this bitch needs to be patient because they have a whole list of women coming in. Third of all, it's just the third fucking episode.
She isn't watching the show.
Yeah, exactly.
You know how I know?
How?
The armorer, the armor smith. She
Right.
is the fucking sage. She's the leader.
She's the exactly.
She is obviously in a position of advising and leadership within that clan. If you can't figure that out, then you're either not watching it or you are seriously fucking stupid.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, man, because I was too busy going in on this bitch. But I'm glad you brought it up because it's true. The head of the Mandalorians is a woman. She is the leader, right? The whole tribe leader.
Yeah.
She also forges their she makes the Mandalorians what they are as to weaponry, man, and even gives them philosophy. This is the way. A female.
And she makes I love the each time she talks to him, she talks about setting aside a little bit of that Beskar for the foundlings. Now I don't know what the foundlings are yet, but I'm gonna assume they are children or teenagers in training who are
I
earning
think
their right.
Yeah, I think the foundlings are the ones like Django and Boba.
Yeah.
They were found by the Mandalorians. They're not Mandalorians, but they're raised in the Mandalorian culture. You know?
Right. They came in from the outside, they honored the traditions, and so they earned that place. I mean, she can sit there and bitch about that if she wants to, but I mean, I'm more curious about like detailed stuff like what's going on in Din's mind, what changed it, what made him go back for Yoda, baby
Right.
Yoda,
Right.
because he didn't have to. I mean, if it was Boba Fett, I wouldn't have expected him to give a second moment's thought.
Yeah.
There's something he might have considered dishonorable to the code. Is it that, or is it something personal, or has he got some kind of a weird bond going on with that baby that he doesn't know about?
Yeah, and then what's even more funny, spoilers, what's even more funny is that the way the Mandalorians, they stuck with him at the end. And I think that they made that choice because he made the right choice simply
Yes.
because they know what he's protecting.
Yes, they backed him.
Yeah, they know what he's protecting. So it's like you see how we're flowing and we got the chemistry of the whole Star Wars company. This is healthy. This brings back this franchise and it totally redeems George Lucas and all of us since 77. You see?
I'm just like when that fight started at the end of episode 3, and you see that big dude with the giant gun, it's just kind of like, yes, indeed. There's the heavy weapons one that they told us about, and it's the whole clan against everybody now.
That's good. I'm telling you, man, this is gonna be pretty good. Now I can actually say, remember when I told you I saw it the first time? The first episode I saw once, I didn't like it. Then I had to go back and watch it 2 more times. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna give this a chance. Then I saw the second one. I said, okay, this is getting better. Then when I saw the third one, I was like, okay, I'm hooked.
Yeah, and any of us have every right to start out apprehensive as shit about this stuff. So but and it could even go all kinds of different directions. Like the next episode, they might get legit pissed at him because they might be in a new, they said they were going to have to relocate. They're probably going to be in a new place, and they're like, man, this is all your fucking fault. How did this happen? They're like, we backed you, but you got comeuppance coming within the clan, within the rules of the clan.
Yeah.
There's no telling where it's going to go. But it's in an exciting way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And I just feel that this, look at Mala too. Mala says, "What's going on, Mala? Welcome." Mala says the latest Terminator movie, they pushed the gender into it with the main character being a woman, hard ass woman, and the movie is a failure at the box office. Movies fail when they have too much agenda, and I have to totally agree. I mean, look at what's up, Jonathan Garcia. Welcome, my bro, no doubt. Like look at first of all, when we go into Star Wars, can you name off the top of your head the most powerful structured women in Star Wars, man? Right?
Can't
Right? I
from
mean,
the films,
yeah, yeah, from the films, from the book, and from the books, anywhere.
maybe Mon Mothma, maybe. We'd
Right,
have to know a little bit more about her.
right, and then we've got Princess Leia,
Mm-hmm.
right, and then we've got the Organas that raised Leia because they were royalty, right?
Yep, all that
So
family was royalty back in the Old Republic video game. So
you know what I'm
there
saying?
you go.
So her stepmom, right, was a queen, right? And then before Princess Leia's real mother was Queen Amidala.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, what more do you fucking feminists want? What do you want? You want to recast everything and have Luke Skywalker a female, Darth Vader a female? Is that what you want?
They
Is that what
want,
you're trying to do? You want Starsky and Hutch to be Cagney and Lacey?
well, I think I can sum it up with less is more. They want inequality. Equality is
Right.
not what they're after
No,
at all.
no,
I
no.
mean, the closest we maybe got to that shit was in Endgame, and then after that, it's gonna turn. So, um, it's not the fact if the Mandalorian wasn't successful, they wouldn't give a shit.
Right.
They wouldn't give a shit.
No, they wouldn't.
They'd be that you see that Star Wars Resistance show. That thing's a bomb. Now there's nothing. There's actually no agenda in it, but it's just dumb. But
Yeah.
like if it had been a hit, they'd have been all over it. I firmly believe it.
I agree.
They're only going to target what's popular because that can they believe that can drag them upward with it
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And
And
that
they
just
also
ruins their credibility to me.
Yeah, it does, big time. And they also think that they can latch themselves on to something that's already up there and they can change it. Like they can have everything, catered to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what it is. They want us to cater to them. Listen, Disney tried that and they lost so much money, and I'm so happy that they're actually seeing the actual formula on how Star Wars is supposed to be done, and I'm glad. I'm glad. But for some reason, man, I'm a bit nervous, Maze. I'm a bit nervous, my brother, because like I just hope that John Favreau doesn't cater to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like he doesn't get in a position to have to pander. I think if he winds up being Kathleen Kennedy's successor, he won't have to.
Right. Right.
I mean, I can't imagine anybody above him that would give a shit. But I mean, you never know. But with the people they're surrounding themselves with, like Filoni and what's this woman's name again? Deborah Chow.
Yeah. Yeah.
If she's gonna crank out episodes like that, shit, I want more of her directing too.
Oh man, I tell you, yeah, man. I was like, you go, Deborah. And that's another thing. See, had she watched it, she would have understood it was a woman director.
Yeah, nobody's given her any accolades yet. None of these screaming people have given her any accolades. Nobody.
Exactly. But us Star Wars fans, the 77 heads, us, right? The 77 crew, we recognized her. I bet you we were all like, who directed this shit? And when we saw it, it was a woman, Deborah Chow. We was like, oh, I know. I was like, oh my God, she did a magnificent fucking job in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. So it's like, that Sarkeesian chick, she needs to really stop it. And every other fucking Kool-Aid headed bitch out there, just stop it. Every fucking motherfucker out there that's hating fucking Trump and just starting an agenda and still live with their parents and having their parents to sue them out of their fucking house because you don't want to grow up. You know what I mean? Just stop it. Like let things be. Let things be. Mala says, I saw Star Wars in 1977. I was 4. Have been a fan all my life. There was never any agenda. The films were just action and excitement for everyone to enjoy, regardless of gender. Exactly.
Yeah, there was never that lens.
Yeah, never that lens. Never.
I coined the term with Leia because she was feminine and strong and powerful, and she never needed that lens over her. When they tried to put it over her, it didn't work.
Yeah, man. This is
when you're in original. So it doesn't. And I would love to hear Carrie Fisher's opinion on all this shit
yeah,
if
right.
she's alive. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. Everybody here. Yeah, there's even boxing heads on here, right? On the chat right now.
Hmm.
The good gentlemen here, the good fellas, right? And
Right.
I tell you right now, it's like, who doesn't love Star Wars? Who didn't grow up watching Star Wars? The thing here is that this Star Wars of today, we recognize it as it's not our Star Wars, and Star Wars was not supposed to change. You know what I mean? You wasn't supposed to change Star Wars for this or like
Right.
this. It wasn't supposed to change like this. Now, like I was saying, don't you think it would have been better to leave George Lucas's after episode number 6, leave that masterpiece alone and end it there and
Yeah.
start off backwards? Meaning, if he was gonna start anything when Disney bought it, they should have done the Knights of the Old Republic, Darth Bane.
Or
Go backwards now. Go backwards way before episode 1. That's
yeah.
what this is the course that should have been running now. Not trying to complete. That's like me or you or anyone here taking one of Shakespeare's fucking poems and adding on our bullshit to it.
It going forward in time 1,000 years would be the other way to resolve it. If you want to create something new that's not connected to any old characters, you don't have to use them in any way. You don't have to bring them into the. I mean, if I thought for a second they were going to do any of this shit, I would have been the first on that damn campaign. Push it
Yeah.
somewhere where there's a blank slate.
Yes.
Um, and that's the whole thing about the storytelling. That's why the Old Republic works so well, because they went back in time where there was nothing. There
Yeah.
was even when you played the Knights of the Old Republic, it feels kind of like he's isolated and it's all brand new again. Even though it's the Star Wars universe, there's
Yeah,
lightsabers and
man.
there's ships,
Yeah.
but it has that freshness to it.
Yeah.
And
he
if you
said
go
this.
1,000 years
He
in the
said this
future,
sabers.
there's nobody left.
Yeah, exactly. He said there's sabers and there's ships.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm
But
telling you, bro.
you go
Man,
into the future, and you could do a lot of writing there too. What was that? I read once. I used to read and edit and write a lot of fan fiction, and I read some good stories in my time. Shit that's a lot better than The Last Jedi or anything anybody in Hollywood could come up with right now.
and
It
you
was
know what's
five.
funny? What's funny that you say that? I think
Mhm.
anybody who's been watching Star Wars in '77 and has burnt out their VCRs and shit, watching it over and over and has fallen asleep to it, and
Mhm.
actually sat down and write stories, I think we would be better than anybody in Disney right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the fans have done that a lot more than fucking J.J. Abrams or Ryan Johnson have.
Yeah,
But you know, there was this one story that comes to mind when we talk about this shit, where it's 500 years in the future, and the Force just decides to spit Obi-Wan Kenobi back to life. Now you're
right.
like, oh, what the fuck's this? But Obi-Wan's like, why am I alive? And the ghost of an old Luke Skywalker comes to him and
Yeah.
says, look, the Jedi lost their way after a half a thousand years of peace. They don't know how to fight anymore. They're just a bunch of pussies. And it's your job to bring the order back into order. And he's like, ask him, but why? And Luke said, because you were the greatest, and the Force picked you. You were the last of us that was, like one of the greatest, and
Wow.
the Force chose you. And that's just one out of hundreds of ways you could do it creatively. But you still, you have that little mention of the past, but for the most part, you're just going forward with something brand new.
Exactly.
This whole brand new idea where there's this community of Force pussies you gotta whip back into shape again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, man, I think the direction Disney should have been going right now is not going forward after episode 6. It should have been backwards. Notice when
Yeah.
they did the shit, man, what was the name of the Rogue when they did Rogue One? That shit did pretty good. It was pretty fucking awesome. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. When you do shit like that, that's the direction they were supposed to go. That's what we thought it was. Solo would have made it. Solo would have made it if it wasn't released after Return of the Jedi. Had it been released
Mhm.
during Rogue One, had they not released Force Awakens, and it just would have been the backstory movies that we would have gotten,
Yeah.
Boba Fett could have been made. Obi-Wan could have been made. Qui-Gon Jinn meets Obi-Wan. I mean, all of that could have all tied in. But no,
Right.
they wanted to outdo Lucas.
I think they saw the fact that Carrie, Hamill, and Fisher, Hamill, and Ford were still alive, and all they saw was dollar signs.
Yeah, yeah, and they just didn't know what else to fucking do with it. You know what I mean? Me
I mean,
personally, me personally, if I was gonna move forward, if I was gonna move forward, and I was a director, I would have had something like Luke Skywalker telling a story, telling a whole adventure story on how he became, you know what I mean, and we
yeah,
already know, but now we pick up after episode 6 what was Luke doing after that, and he could be sitting in the jet in this new Jedi temple, you know what I'm saying, the master Jedi
right.
that he is, and teaching all the new younglings and every, you know what I mean, they could have done so much with this, so
And
much.
with this deep fake shit going on, you could take people like who was the dude Mark Hamill said he liked and looked like him, Sebastian Stan,
Yeah,
and maybe even Carrie Fisher's daughter, Billy Lord, who is a very good actress. And, you can put them in these films as young Luke, young
yeah,
Leia,
yeah,
and retell
exactly.
whatever or tell whatever stories are missing from that time.
They could do
Um,
that. and,
I
and get
just,
that kid from YouTube that looks and sounds just like fucking Harrison Ford.
yep, in Gruber. But
Yeah,
just, throwing the EU out and pretending it didn't exist. That was actually the very first thing Disney did that pissed off the fans.
and it's terrible. It's terrible because what they don't understand is they needed that for structure. See, that's
Right.
what Disney fucked up. They needed that for their structures for movies. Look, when Kathleen Kennedy came out and said, "We don't have comic books. We don't have any books like that," and for Disney. I'm saying to myself, like, you stupid bitch. This is why George Lucas allowed this to happen. This is why he allowed all the other fucking books, all these writers to come out with the old canon books and everything, right? And what
Mm-hmm.
happened? What happened? You decided to just, yeah, nah, let's just cancel them. Let's just take them. Everything that's there never existed. Okay, so now your movies will have no structure.
Nope. And just taking the EU out, if they had said, well, okay, what they originally said, as I recall, is the EU is no longer valid. We may pull stuff from it, but it'll be at our discretion. What they should have come forward and said, okay, we're going to decanonize the EU, but you're going to find quite a bit of it is going to find its way into the movies. Don't
Right,
worry.
right.
They just didn't say anything reassuring at all. They're just like, hey, you fans of the books, fuck you.
Yeah, and what's messed up is that mostly I would have to say 80 to 90% of the movie goers that were Star Wars movie watchers are also the fucking the collectors of the novels that were out
Right.
there, as well as the collectors like myself with the action figures and everything else in their mothers. I mean, you still got guys that are still collecting old school tops cards from Star Wars,
Right.
the last hope. They're still out there
And
looking, oh my god, I need that Luke Skywalker, oh, I need that Darth Vader, and these
mhm,
guys are paying like $5,000 to $6,000 for that one card. I mean, does that even
yeah.
fucking matter to these people? No, not at all. you know
And the EU books, I they're just stories, and there's bad examples in the EU too. I mean, there's some stuff they did in there that was shitty. I didn't agree for a minute with Chewbacca being killed off. Spoilers if you haven't read the EU books.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with Anakin Solo being the basically the heir to the Jedi Academy because he was so powerful, and then they killed him off before he's even an adult. It made Chewbacca's sacrifice pointless. But they got into some weird shit when they brought the Vong in. Anyway, the point is they made some mistakes, but overall it's a good arc of stories and it's a good starting point. Like you said, it's good source material.
Yeah.
But when they said they were going to cancel the EU, my first stupid ass thought was, you know what, they must be getting ready to come up with something even better.
Right. Right. And look what happened.
That's blind ass Star Wars fandom is what that is.
I mean, no, because you know what it was? It wasn't your fault, man.
I know.
We were treated by George Lucas. George Lucas took care of us, bro. You
Yep.
know, he gave us what we wanted. We wanted a new character. We got a new character, and it was done. It was done with taste. It was done with our approval. You know what I mean? And sometimes half of his creations didn't even need our approval because he knew what the fuck we wanted. You know what I mean? And it's look, when you give the masses a certain formula of a product that you have, and then you go and you make a counterpart to that, you have to follow up with the first schematics of whatever the fuck it was that got you there successfully. The second time, you got to do at least half of that there, and then something innovative, something new, has to come there to sell the rest of part two. You know what I'm saying? Then when you go in for three, you've got another formula you're making where you're taking half of that at the beginning, half of this, and then you know what I'm saying, and then with the and it just goes on and on like that. George Lucas is a fucking genius, bro.
He knew where it was all going to go, and we did too because it was prequels. But do you remember during that time, shitloads of people were doing prequel this and prequel that, as a kind of a copycat thing.
Right.
What do I think went wrong with the Han Solo movie? That's aside from not having Harrison in it, or somebody that gave you that feel of Han Solo, which I'm sorry, Aaron Reich just wasn't it.
No, yeah.
It did have some, it had some classic Star Wars feel to it. Especially, I would probably watch the scene with the Falcon and the black hole one more time.
Yeah,
but like
the 12 parsecs.
That shit with Emilia Clarke and Darth Maul being her boss, I'm like, what does this serve? I mean, I really think they were really overshooting there and thought that they could, I guess they thought that they were automatically going to be doing a sequel. So, it's like, let's throw them all back in there. And, I have mixed feelings about that too, because that's Ray Park. That is the Darth fucking Maul.
Right.
But, and then at the end with what's his name, Han shooting Beckett, I thought that was a good moment. But then I remember one night I was talking to, who was it? It was Mary Mayhem about it on a stream, and she was like, "You know what? That was just pandering." And I thought, "Damn, that's a hard argument."
Yeah,
because it probably was pandering.
Yeah,
when Han just shot Woody Harrelson's character.
Yeah, I mean, because he betrayed him and all this shit. Yeah, I mean, I can understand. Me personally, I didn't like the lore in it as to how he met Chewbacca, which is not how he met Chewbacca. How he got his blaster pistol, which is not how he got his blaster pistol. There are a lot of things behind that. That they exaggerated, stretched, and took it out of the fucking. They didn't take it out of the original. Writing. They just made this shit up as they went. You can tell, and on top of that, it underwent how many directors? 3 directors. Right,
2 in the beginning, and then they got shit canned. I would love to hear what the hell they had in mind.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I don't blame Ron Howard at all. I think he probably salvaged whatever wasn't there, but I just don't think we were ready for a Han Solo movie. And then on top of that, The Last Jedi came out, which you got to remember that backlash was still very real 6 months after. They should have never released that movie 6 months after.
The backlash was real, man. We were like, "Oh, you want to give us a piece of shit? Well, okay." And it didn't even make it. We actually protested that movie, man, and that's what we need to do with number 9. You know what I mean? That's exactly what we need to do with number 9, man.
Yeah.
And if you guys really love Star Wars, you guys have to stand up to these SJWs, man. If you're a content creator, you know what? Come out and blast them. This Anita Sarkeesian, she was one of the people that started that Gamersgate shit and fucked that whole community up. It's very rare that you have some of them up. So now you have this woman along with a whole bunch of her fucking SJW fucking Kool-Aid in the hair ass motherfuckers just lining up and just knocking down the Mandalorian now. And I'm telling you right now, I am not standing for it, bro. This is the only thing that we have so close to Star Wars right now.
I think also something that might have helped the Solo movie was to have a current, like, flash forward scene at either the beginning or the end with old Harrison Ford and old Lando.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Just to connect it all.
Yeah.
And, they didn't even consider that. But Nordic Warrior here's got a couple of comments I want to address. I have played Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2 over and over. I am a long-term player of the online version, Star Wars The Old Republic. I'm pretty familiar with the lore.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Our boy Craig is too. If he was here, he could tell you all about Revan.
Oh
Craig
yeah.
brings the Church of Revan with him everywhere he goes.
Hell yeah. And John brings Bane. He Darth Bane. He's always bringing them too. Yeah,
Mhm.
man, definitely. Jonathan says the story group didn't have a villain in mind, so Ron Howard requested that they write in a bad guy who controls the syndicate. The goal was to set up a trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd heard something like that.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, it just there was too much working against it. And even before the Last Jedi came out, those two directors being fired did not reflect well on it at all.
Not at all. Not at all. And
It,
see, us as Star Wars fans, when we hear that a movie, you got one director out, you got another one, he didn't work out. Now they got to bring in somebody that it's like we're like, it's gonna be a piece of shit.
and then while all that's going on in the middle of the maelstrom, again, Last Jedi, the first trailer isn't even out yet, and Kathleen Kennedy announces J.J. Abrams is directing Episode 9 instead.
Right.
Like, you just really sitting back going, what the fuck? What is going on here? And I actually was pissed at first. I was like, I don't want him back.
Yeah.
He did his thing. He needs to go. And yes,
I mean,
Ray Park is a badass martial artist.
yeah, he is. He is definitely is, man. If you guys don't know, he's also Snake Eyes in G.I. Joe.
I remember that.
Yeah, he played Snake Eyes in the G.I. Joe franchise with what was his Marlon Wayans, was it? And that fucking magic stick dude, what's his face?
Magic.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in they made that G.I. Joe live action movie. I'm not sure if you've seen it before. But he was Snake Eyes. He played Snake Eyes, Ray Parker. Yeah,
G.I. Joe the movie. Taking a look here.
Yeah, Ray Parker was Snake Eyes.
I think I got the wrong G.I. Joe movie. This is the one that was really. Oh, this is the cartoon movie. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Serpentor. Cobra, la, 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 la. Oh man, those were the days, man. But don't stand for it, guys. Don't let these SJWs take away your 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 fucking entertainment. You know what I mean? The things that you grown up on, the things that give you nostalgia when you need it. Man, I tell you right now, I moved from New York a while back, and like my family's gone. You know what I mean? The only family I have is the family that I've made with my children, and so it's like whenever I need that nostalgic feeling, man, and I need to, look back, I always watch Star Wars because as I'm watching it, not only, and this is why it's so deep, not only am I hearing the sounds and I'm watching the movie and hearing the sounds of the movie, but sometimes those sounds bring me to a certain point, you know, at a point in my life where I was watching Star Wars at one time and something had happened. You know what I mean? And it'll bring you back to, oh shit, I remember this when this happened. And it just goes quickly in your mind as you're catching that nostalgia. This is why it's important that you stand up for these things because they come from your past, man. You know what I mean?
If you ever get a chance, look up on YouTube Star Wars A New Hope audience reaction. There is a kid back in 77. He took a goddamn tape recorder into the theater with him, like a decent quality one. He's sitting there with his mom, and they just play back the scene. They combine the video with the audio recording of the movie, and you get to hear the audience react as Han Solo swoops into Bus Vader's ass.
Yeah,
in the ship,
and they're like, "Yeah,
yep,
yeah." I remember, man. I remember. People don't even cheer at movies anymore. You know why? Because you don't have that magic anymore, where it's like the hero walks in and everybody claps. Oh yeah!
Unless it's a fucking Marvel movie, and then they scream at every goddamn thing.
Nah, well, let me tell you something. I've seen most of the other Marvel movies over in the theater, and not one showing did we have anybody as to being enthusiastic towards the movie, and nothing, brother, nothing. Everybody just sitting there, like not even a giggle as a funny point. Sometimes I would hear myself echoing through the whole fucking theater laughing at a certain scene. Meanwhile, you have a whole bunch of these tight ass fuckers just sitting there watching it with their fucking, their upper lip biting their lower lip, and I'm just like, where's the fun in this shit? Where is that's why I don't even go to movies anymore. You know what I do? I just stream my shits. I stream movies. I wait 2 days and that's it.
And yeah, I remember that, Jonathan. I also remember the fucking Kenobi movie, or the Kenobi whatever you want to call it show movie. That's been in and out for the better part of a decade. It's happening. It's not happening. It's happening. It's just like that Batman shit with Affleck and whether or not he's out.
Yeah, yeah. Remember that shit when Superman versus Batman came out? What's Superman gonna? I mean, what's Batman's outfit gonna look like? What's the new Batmobile gonna look like? See, that those are Bat fans when they're worried about that, right? But you're an ultimate Bat fan when you ask who's gonna play Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm gonna tell Warner Brothers something right now. You're going to lose the Batman fans, bro, with this fucking Robert, whatever the fuck, Robert Twilight asshole. You know what I'm saying? Being
Right.
Batman now, the guy from Twilight. Are you serious? The vampire, Van Dieden, whatever.
Or
Peter, this dude.
Cedric Diggory from Harry Potter. I think he was in that movie too, number 4.
Yeah, look at that. This guy is going to be fucking. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
But then
He's gonna be Batman.
We go back to that objectifying shit. A couple of female friends of mine have been like, "Yeah, he's gonna be Batman." So,
Yeah,
you ain't thinking with your head.
yeah. It's like you don't understand, man. This Batman. It's first of all, Bruce Wayne is really 225 to 250 pounds, 6'3", 6'4". Okay, he's almost as big as Superman, and Superman's a big, brolic, beefy motherfucker. How is it? And Ben Affleck next to Henry Cavill, they look pretty solid. How the fuck are you gonna put Twilight, a guy who had his shirt open and you seen his protruding fucking rib cage? How are you gonna beef this guy the fuck up? How is he gonna play Bruce Wayne? This guy does not fit the characteristics of Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne has a big brawly chin. At least Ben Affleck had a big brawly chin. This guy's gonna have a little fucking My Little Pony chin. I mean, what the what?
Gonna have to deep fake. I don't know. Deep fake a body on him.
He's gonna have dimples in his cowl, dog. In his cowl, he's gonna have dimples behind the cowl. What's going on? Like, you see, this is what I mean. And then they were talking about having the dude that played Harry Potter as Wolverine. They're thinking about, yeah, Harry Potter himself as Wolverine.
I don't think this era will last. I really don't. Like this era of harmless men in movies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
it goes along with what Nordic just said about Batman being an alpha male.
Yeah.
And Mala 2243 and Nordic both. I was gonna say, if the fandom had not fought back, we would not have gotten the Mandalorian as it is today. We would not.
Right.
If we had not fought back, the Mandalorian. First of all, it either wouldn't exist or it would be something kind of like you described Vader there.
Yeah. Transition Vader. We'll have a transition Mandalorian.
The Femdalorian.
Right? The Transformer-Lorian. the Translorian. There we go. The Translorian. We would have had a Translorian. I don't give a shit, man. Like I said, LGBT can come and try to get me, son. Come on down. Come on down. Cause I got an argument and you're not gonna win. And then when you find this out and people say, you're not gonna be fucking with nobody else, man. So just let shit be. Let us talk freely. I used to call my friends faggots just for the fuck of it, and I'm gonna continue to do that. Fuck that shit. You ain't gonna stop me, Maze, no one else. I'm not gonna fucking censor myself. You want to shut me down? It's just gonna show everybody.
Does nobody remember that insult? Even it used to be a street term for a sucker.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh man, you a faggot."
Yeah,
you know. Oh, you fucking faggot, you faggot ass nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the hell, bro? Like, what the? No. I think what happened in 2012 was the Hadron Collider, bro. When they said the world ended, the world as we knew that we once lived in did end, bro. It did end. It changed.
You think we slipped into one of them quantum alternate realities?
Yes.
And we're stuck here?
Yes, because think about it, man. Bad is good, good is bad, man is woman, woman is man. You can kill a baby fucking 9 months now, full term. This shit is getting too fucking crazy for me. You're fucking guilty until proven innocent now. Everything's backwards. Everything's backwards. They Sweden did something in 2012, bro. I'm dead ass. It's the Mandela effect. You guys heard of that shit? Well, it's in full force right now, bro.
You remember that? I'm thinking about the Matrix, and Agent Smith is pointing out towards the city skyline to Neo, and he's like, "This is your civilization at its peak."
Yeah.
And like we're past that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's in a tailspin.
I'm telling you, man. And it's like I feel like the only ones that actually believed, in a higher power and and kept and just kept pure to themselves and try to be truthful are the only ones that stood with their conscience intact, like us.
Mhm.
And this is why we see the odd, and we're trying to point out the obvious, but these motherfuckers are like under a spell. It's like half of the world, even in America, it's like under a spell. People are under a spell. It's like, I don't like this movie, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, this movie sucks, and it's like, okay, have you seen the movie? No. What the hell? Like, what? Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you don't know anything? You don't even have the source material to this movie, and you don't like it? It sucks. You don't even know the damn one character's name. At least one not even one scene, but it sucks. This is what they do. This is what they do.
I'm trying to remember. Robin Williams was talking about a movie that came out years ago. It was The Last Temptation of Christ, I think. That's how old it was. He's talking about how the people were out there with signs. This movie is not real. And Robin Williams was like, "Come here, Sparky. No movie's real."
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the first shit I taught my kid, actually, when it came to movies, because I needed him to have the right context so that I wouldn't get him in trouble with his mom for watching a certain movie while he was over at my house, because she was going through the whole excessive Christian thing at the time. And, I kept telling him over and over till he got into his head, 4 years old, no movie is real.
Yeah. Not even fucking biographies.
No.
Not even that. Not even fucking based on a true story. No, it's not. No, it's not, because that movie has a lot of plots that twist and turn, and they don't even lead to the actual events that happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So please spare me with that based off of a true fucking story or true events. You're twisting it. You know what I mean? You're twisting it. So what they usually do is, if a dude just got fucking stabbed in the ribs and he just died, but he did a lot of great things, they'll make his death in a movie where, they fucking kidnapped him, they fucked him up. They'll have everybody in the fields for this motherfucker, and they'll give him one big ending and shit. And it was a Hollywood ending, not the actual fucking death. This is what they do.
That takes me back to Richard Pryor talking about movies versus real life. He's like, when you face with some guy with a knife, you run. And he's like, because in the movies, when some guy gets stabbed, it's like dun 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 dun. That's the movies. In real life, all you feel is a knife in your ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, the fucking piece of the fox strikes. Welcome, my brother. He says we need cross-dressing stormtroopers. God damn it.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. I understand exactly what he means, that these SJWs are like that. We need cross-dressing stormtroopers. God damn it. It's true, bro. It's true. Hybrid 95 says, didn't Scorsese direct The Last Temptation of Christ?
I'm looking it up.
That's a good question.
Just a second. I've almost got it.
All right.
Yes, he did. 1988. And see, that shows us how far the pettiness has fallen.
Right.
We're going from protesting like Scorsese's masterpieces to, just movie didn't have enough women in it.
Ridiculous. They tried to play that. They tried to play that shit with Tarantino. The other.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and he shut that bitch down. He shut that SJW down. She was like, "Oh, Margot Robbie, she's such a good actress and everything. I just want to know why she only has 38 seconds of." And he goes, "No, I do not believe in your." He just shut this bitch down, man. I was like, "Holy crap!"
he's saying, I mean, Tarantino's one of those dudes that fought his way up from nothingness. He was nobody,
Yeah.
and he's probably been at that point where he's like, man, I fought for my recognition years ago. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm not even
Oh
gonna
yeah.
deal with this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Hell yeah, Jonathan. I have to agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Yes, to a certain point, yes, they do ruin the fun, bro.
Like
The feminists, the
Patrice
feminists.
O'Neill said, they come riding in like pterodactyls. Squawk.
Yeah, hell yeah. Peace to Big Boys Boxing. What's going on, brother? No doubt. Welcome, man. Welcome. Peace to Nordic Gaming as well, man. What's going on? Andrew Linker, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Welcome. Welcome to the Star Wars stream. May the force be with you. You know what I mean? You guys all know. Of course, like I would have to say on the stream right now, 90% of you are boxing heads, but we love Star Wars, so we gotta represent, baby. We gotta represent. But yeah, man, it's getting to a point now to exactly where you're getting at, and exactly what the Fox said, where
Be
where
right back, man.
all of these, oh, I want, we have to have this, we have to have that. All they want to do is they want us to cater to their bullshit, bro. That's all it is. They want us to cater to their bullshit. They want this, they want that. But when we do give them this and that, like we gave them the opportunity, right? We gave them the opportunity to direct and show us a new Star Wars, and what did they do? Terminator, what did they do? I mean, the movies are gonna keep going. Now this bitch from Charlie's Angels is mad. First she blamed it on us men. Oh, because men don't want to see women in lead roles. No, that's not it. That's not it. Because there have been many movies where we saw women in lead roles. Angelina Jolie, Tomb Raider. I mean, the list can go on and on. So I don't know where you guys are coming from with this. You guys just kick and scream because you feel a certain way and you want everybody to feel the certain way that you're feeling, but that's not going to happen. We're not going to feel this way. You know why? Because we know that feeling that way, there's got to be something fucking wrong with you. There's got to be something wrong with you. There's got to be something wrong with you to say to yourself, from now on, every action movie has to have a female lead in it. Are you fucking stupid? You must be out of your fucking mind. Because now you've got fucking Batwoman over here on the WB network, and look what's happening to that shit. This bitch said the suit is gonna be better once a woman dons it. Get the fuck out of here. You're better than Batman, but yet you're rocking his shit, bitch. You got his gadgets. You got his Batcave. You're fucking with his shit. So you're really not original there. You know what I mean? And that's exactly that alone. That show alone shows you exactly what they're doing. They're taking the old and they're claiming it, and they're trying to switch it around to make it seem like they created the shit. This is what they're doing. This is exactly what the fuck they're doing, man. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's so crazy. Jonathan says it's exactly like being in a relationship with a woman. The moment you cave to their demands change, bro. Yeah, I gotta agree with you, man. I have to agree with you on that. Nordic says, I can't wait to play it again. Also, old school Star Wars games are awesome. Yeah, hell yeah, awesome. Old school Star Wars games are great. I love old school Star Wars games, man. Mine's was what was that? Damn, you were the clone troopers and shit, and you were
Commando,
shooting. Yeah. It was the first.
Republic Commando.
Yeah, Republic Commando. That was one of my favorites. The Knights of the Old Republic, of course. And then also got the what was that? The Force. What was that? The Force. Damn, I forgot. The Force Unleashed 1 and 2. Got them
Yeah.
both. That was a beautiful game.
Alternate stories.
Yeah.
Did you do the downloadable content where Star Killer fights Leia as a Jedi?
No, I haven't yet. They also got an Evil Luke download.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to check that out. Definitely got to check that out. Big
Leia's lightsaber is yellow.
Yeah, yeah. Nordic says women can't fight. they start shit, then they hide behind men, letting men pay for the consequences. Oh shit!
Yeah, but they at the same time they don't want to acknowledge the order of things.
Right,
That
right.
it's not. They want to say that's not natural.
Yep, yep. Big boy says Wonder Woman is much better.
Linda Carter, when she get in fights with some of them women, guest actresses.
Yeah,
Hell, in the pilot, she got in a fight with a nice looking one. They didn't teach you to fight fair. Pap
I'm telling you, man.
knocks that woman back in the chair, and she goes rolling.
Yeah, and it's like these days, it's like women have to really like augmentate themselves. They have to put shit on. They gotta add shit on. It's like you're buying a fucking Barbie doll, bro, to live. Yeah, it's like assembly required. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck, bro?
And
Like
when I was younger, I was raised to respect that fact. But things were a little more equal back then too.
I mean, shit. Back then, all we had to deal with was fucking wigs and lipstick, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got glue on eyelashes. All right, you got collagen in the lips. You got fucking all types of plastics for the ass and tits. You know what I mean? You've got a pussy wall reducer, which makes the pussy walls tight again once they fucking go out there. I mean, bro, what's real?
You
What's
got that? That celebrity woman that's had like 1,000 plastic surgeries done. You know who I'm talking about? I forget her name. I call her Lion Bitch
she
because
looks
she looks like a
crazy.
lion.
She looks stretched out. She look like this. She looked crazy.
I'm like, man, how do you? It must be like people who collect tattoos, like all over. Like you reach a point where you just keep going and you just don't stop.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. Mala says they are creating a situation where you have to make films to a template. Must have gay character, transvestite, strong woman in lead role. People will lose the ability to make the movie they want. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. They
It's not going
definitely.
to stop there either if we let it keep going.
Mm, mm.
There'd be like the gender fluids next and shit.
Right. Motherfucker look like a man, and he's talking about I don't identify as a man. Well, you know what?
Oh wait, now I do. Oh wait, now I don't. Wait, now
Yeah,
I do.
yeah. I tell you right now, man. If it really gets down to that, bro, do you know how confusing that's gonna be, bro?
Gonna have to wear different color hats or some shit. I don't know, something to where I don't have to guess. I can just walk on and know.
If I cannot speak regularly, if I cannot speak the way I'm not speaking at all, I will go fucking mute. I will go mute. I will not speak. People speak to me, I will just look at them and keep it. I will not say anything because it's gonna get to a point that whatever you say is gonna be held against you, and you're guilty until proven innocent. And God forbid you turn around and you tell somebody, "I don't know you, leave me alone." You're racist. How am I racist? If I'm telling you I do not know you, leave me alone, and then you got to break it down to him. When in my days, in my world, in my reality, I was taught not to speak to strangers. You stupid fuck, right?
Right.
You
Hey,
know?
Fox Strikes. Are you talking about the Revenge of the Sith game for the PS2? It almost sounds like you are.
Mm. And that's another one, big boys. Yep, Xena Warrior Princess was okay. Yep. He goes, maybe I'm biased because Lucy Lawless is from my homeland. No, Lucy Lawless was fucking fine as hell. I used to love fucking Xena, and I love the fact that her and Gabriella were lesbians. I love that fact. You know what I'm saying? Because she was Amazonian. Amazonian women, they're fucking butches, but they
And
sleep
you
with
know
men
what?
too.
I will freely admit there's some guy candy in that show. You know what? I'd be fine with women having their girl candy shows, just as long as you let me have mine. Don't try and fuck with it.
That's it, yeah. You know what I mean? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we were talking about that game the other day. Fox Strikes. At the end, you can beat Obi-Wan with Anakin, and you can go, you go kill Palpatine and become the Emperor at the end of Revenge of the Sith. It has that big alternate ending.
Nice.
The galaxy is mine.
I'm gonna have to go back to the lab, man, and just go back into them games again, which I'm gonna have to do. The Fox Strike says the Charm Sisters and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I didn't like Charmed. Fuck Alyssa Milano. But but I did like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I loved the movie, which was fucking hilarious. That's a classic. Ooh, oh, that shit was classic, bro. You know how many fucking ounces of weed I smoked to that one scene alone and laughed, bro, to the point that I couldn't breathe anymore, bro. Like that was great. Then the TV series was very good. There's one episode I love, which was fucking the best episode, and I think it was two parts, I think, or three parts. I think it was called Hush, and it was these guys, these fucking three guys that went around town and made everybody mute. They couldn't speak. You know what I'm saying? And it was silent. That shit was like the best Buffy the Vampire Slayer fucking episode ever. I forgot the name of it. I think it was called Hush or something like that. The name of that episode. It was broken down into three, I think. And these guys look crazy. They were like all white faced with like demon teeth, and they was walking around with a box or something. And I think that's what it was, that they would take people's voices and shit like that. And Buffy was the only one that was able to speak, and she had to go back and get everybody's fucking voice back and shit. That was a great fucking episode.
I know I couldn't keep my eyes off Sarah Michelle Gellar back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, yeah, she was cute.
Allison Hannigan neither.
Oh man, yeah. But Buffy the Vampire Slayer to me will always be Christy Swanson, boy. She was from the movie. Yeah, Christy Swanson. She was awesome. Yeah, it was called Hush. Yeah. The gentleman muted the town. Yeah, that shit was a great season 4. Yep. Yo, that was a great episode, man. Just watch that one episode, bro. That episode, I think, right there is enough to hook a motherfucker who never watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV series. That episode will hook you. It was that good. I lie to you not. It was that good.
She still looks good.
Michelle Swanson. Oh, Christy Swanson. Oh yeah, I seen her the other day on the news. She's hot. She's hot as hell. See, like this, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, bro. She had her own movie first, man, and then they spun it into a TV series. Come on, man. You want more women leads, and we're going through a whole list right now. Subconsciously, we don't even know we're talking about females in female movie leads and stuff, and how much females have already taken over. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood with their leads, and look. Jonathan says, if more men learned how to fight, a lot of the issues that we have today would not be around. There's a respect and peace that comes with it. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the Fox Strike says, at Jonathan, they're too busy white knighting and putting on their capes. Yep. That's what's happening. That's exactly why. You got a lot of guys just catering to a lot of shit. Like, you know what I hate? When you're on Twitter and you say something to one of these SJ fucking feminists, SJW feminists, or these feminist SJWs, you say one thing to them, then all of a sudden here comes Captain Save-A-Ho, a male, Captain fucking Beta, comes out of nowhere. Oh, you shouldn't talk to a lady like that. Listen, fuck you, fuck your Twitter account, okay? There are other ways to get pussy, bro. You know what I'm saying? This cyber pussy hunting is not a sport, bro. This shit is not gonna work out for you. So just stop it. And that's what most of these guys do. They cape and try to play the white knight for these stupid fucking Kool-Aid in their hair ass bitches. And they need to stop it. They need to stop it. Let me tell you something. In my day, you either asked and you was getting ass and getting the attention, or you wasn't. You understand? In my day, women understood, and it's not even called knowing your place. It's not even that. You know what I mean, Mr. Pete? Yeah, just type in your email, and I'll send it to you. Definitely. You know what I mean? It's to a point where these guys got to understand, bro, and say, you know what? You're acting like a fucking cunt.
You know what?
What's wrong with telling a woman she's acting like a fucking cunt?
You know what, Nordic? It's no great loss, man. If I ever get banned from Twitter, that's gonna be it for me. I'm not gonna be that motherfucker that's got to keep creating accounts and coming back. It's just one time, and that's gonna be it. I'll go over to Gab or something and just wait for people to come over there, because
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there'll be a Twitter exodus and there'll be a YouTube exodus. YouTube's going to be kicking people off that are not even economically viable. Like if you don't make them money, they're going to start kicking people off. You watch.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean, Mr. P? Yeah, just give me your email here in the chat, and I'll send one to you, brother. I'll send you an invite. It's just like what you're saying. It's like you know you try to look at things in a positive way. Then when you look at it in a positive way, you've got somebody that's trying to take that positive and turn it into their negative, or to make it look like the negative. You ever heard that misery loves company?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, that's what's happening here.
Mind in the gutter, dragging everybody down.
Yeah.
That's the way it has to be right now for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the other thing is that these fucking people are joyless. I
Very.
mean,
Oh my God, you said that correct.
They got no sense of humor. They just there's no joy in anything. They don't even know how to laugh. A lot of them they were indoctrinated in school pretty recently to where it's just not funny. They think okay, boomer is hilarious, and it's because it's simple-minded humor is the best they can do.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the best they can do.
God, throw some Sam Kinison at him. Put him in a locked room with Richard Pryor, Sam Kinison, George Carlin, clawing their way trying to get out. This is hate speech.
Yeah, right. This is hate speech. Oh my God, it's so. And you're like, yo, just man the fuck up.
George Carlin doing the 7 dirty words. It's fucking hate speech.
It's age. It's just ridiculous, man, on how they're quick to call us man babies, but these motherfuckers want to write a letter afterwards. To they want to write a letter. I'm telling, I don't give a shit. It's like I don't give a shit. It's just getting to a point, man. You know.
The funny thing is when you look across the pond at like the current state of Star Trek.
Yeah.
I'm a Trekkie too.
Right.
And I've seen Discovery. I've seen both seasons. I enjoyed the second one better than the first, but I'm like Craig in that I just watched it and let myself be as entertained by it as it could be. Right. I think Michael Burnham's a little too Mary Sue-ish, although Sonequa Martin Green is a cutie. But Star Trek doesn't try and be anything more than it is, despite what it's been through. It's like they're trying to with Star Wars. It's so forced. Everything is so forced. Everything that's not supposed to be a part of it. Right. It's all just forced on there. And I mean, it shows in everything that they do. I mean, even this shit with Galaxy's Edge, where they don't have like a ride that's worth a damn, or anything that I can think of where I would say I want to go see that.
Right.
I mean, I saw people walking through the place. I mean, courtesy of all the Fandom Menace people who said they weren't going to give Disney any money and went out there anyway. Yeah, we could do a whole show about that. But
oh yeah.
They go out there and it's nothing but it's one ride and a bunch of vendors. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
I don't count the lightsaber factory either. That's just another vendor.
It's crazy, man.
Did you get Mr. Pete's address? I think you put it in there.
Yeah, I have it. It's telling me something. I have to have it recognized or some shit like that.
Well, he put a space after the period between Gmail and .com.
He did? Okay, let me see.
Yeah, you might have to backspace that space out.
Where with it? Oh, I might have to backspace it.
Yeah, between the dot and the com.
Yeah, bring the com to the dot, right?
Yep.
All right.
Hook them up.
Let's see.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
No, yeah, it's saying please make sure that all addresses are properly formed. What the hell?
Let me try and send it to him.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have to Okay, it went through now. There we go. I had to. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, good.
Awesome. All right. You should be coming through now, Mr. Pete. Gotcha. Yeah. So, me personally, like I said, they they can't uh they can't go around wanting to change these. Look, Disney got something very special right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're possibly going to save at least a third of Star Wars. One third. That's it. It's nothing to get excited. It's just going to be a third of Star Wars, and that's going to be
It's more than we thought they were going to save.
right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Check your Gmail. I just said it, brother. You know, that's all it's going to be. It's just going to be that, and because think about it. It runs in departments now. You got TV shows now. You got the animations now. Then you got the movies. They fucked up on the movies. That they fucked up hardcore on the movie. So now we have some other shit now where we have the TV now. So now let's hope that Favreau holds down the TV fucking spot with the Mandalorian, and I hope that whatever else they had lined up, that Jay Urso and that other shit that they had. What was that guy's name from Rogue One? They were gonna make a Rogue One spinoff, TV
They
spinoff.
still are, as far as I'm hearing. It's called Cassian.
Yes,
That's his name.
yeah,
Most
and
pointless.
character, right? Like I really think they shouldn't do that. See, that's a mistake.
That's like having the bartender from A New Hope show.
You know what I'm saying? That's I'm telling you that's what's gonna mess the whole thing up. That's
Well, I mean,
exactly.
isn't Poe kind of like him a little bit? It's like I don't know. There's overlapping problems with lack of originality.
Right.
And I love Rogue One overall, but the characters in it, they're not that memorable. I mean, it would be Jin would be the most, and then shit, I don't even remember her father's name. He's the one that was supposed to have designed the Death Star.
Yeah, I forgot his name too. I forgot his fucking name too. But what's funny is that they did mention that he made that fail safe on purpose and shit, and that's why they wanted to kill him. That's why they wanted him dead, because they found out about it, and they wanted him to basically cover that shit up, and they
I don't know. I like the way they handled it in the EU, where you got this one guy named Lemelisk. He designed the Death Star, and after it got blown up, the Emperor brings him before him, and he said, "You messed up," and he said, "How can I help you, my lord?" And he says, "You may die for me." And then what he does is he puts him in a cage filled with blood-eating beetles from the planet Yavin, because it's the planet that he stopped from being destroyed. Right. They eat him alive, and Palpatine transfers his essence into a new body. And he says, "Now you fuck up again, I'm going to kill you again, just like that.
That's crazy.
Bring you back."
That's crazy. Welcome, Mr. Pete. What's going on, brother?
Hello there. Are we currently talking about Rogue One?
Yeah, we're talking everything Star Wars today. We're trying to keep the SJWs away, especially that Anita Sarkeesian.
Feel free to jump in, Mr. Pete. I got to sign out of work. Yes, I'll be back.
Yes, I haven't seen Rogue One in about a year, and to me, it actually has gotten better. So, It's the only Disney movie I actually like. The reason why I dislike The Force Awakens is because it was just a copy and paste of A New Hope.
Yes,
that's the main reason why I dislike it, and the main reason why I dislike The Last Jedi, because it was just god awful garbage.
I hate it all, brother, except for Rogue One. Rogue One made it on my list.
And the main reason why I dislike Solo is because I dislike what they did to Lando. I don't like that robot, and I thought Eric, Andernhard, whatever the heck his last name was, I thought he was okay as Solo. He was not great as Solo. He was not good. The main reason why I didn't like him is because he looks absolutely nothing like Harrison Ford.
Nothing.
He doesn't he doesn't even look like if Harrison Ford had a brother, he doesn't even look like him. You know,
nothing like him. He looked nothing like
him. They might as well have picked an Asian guy or a Hispanic guy to play Han Solo, because this guy looks nothing like him at all.
At all, man. At all.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. And I just feel bad because it's like, we had to do it after the Last Jedi. We had to show them. Listen, you're gonna continue to drop garbage like this, and you're gonna continue to fail. If episode number 9 makes at least $240-something million, that would be simply because of curiosity. That's just gonna be. It's not gonna be because everyone was anticipated for the movie. No, it's gonna be curiosity. It's gonna be people. Oh, I wonder what the shipwreck is gonna look like.
I really don't, unless Disney does shenanigans at the box office. I don't see Rise of Skywalker going past The Last Jedi, especially overseas, because Jumanji is going to be what, the week before? Everybody overseas in countries like China, South Korea, the Philippines, they're gonna see they'd rather see Jumanji over the Rise of Skywalker, because the only way it's gonna make money is if Disney buys tickets. That's the only way I see it passing the Last. If it passes 1.3 billion at the box office, Disney purchased tickets.
Right.
That's the only way. So yeah.
Yeah, and Disney doing the shenanigans. They're purchasing their own tickets, and it's crazy, man. It's just a big circus, Mr. Pete. It's a huge circus, man. And what they've done to us Star Wars fans, bro, it's just to a point, man, that, like I said, I say execute order number 9, and that's do not go see number 9. I mean, if you don't want to see, listen, man, they're gonna get rid of the Millennium Falcon, man. Are they crazy? Like, that right there is gonna break my heart. It's gonna hurt.
Well, I mean, isn't the Falcon at Galaxy's Edge supposed to be after episode 9, or is it supposed to be during episode 9?
I can tell you this.
Because Galaxy Edge is canon. It's a canon place. It's an actual place in the canon right now.
Okay. Wow. I tell you right now, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you because
talking about the planet that Galaxy's Edge is supposed to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah, jumping in just for a second. It's called Batu, Batu.
Yeah,
supposed to be in the film.
Place.
Batu. Okay. It's called Batu. It's after. Okay, it's after episode 9. Jonathan Garcia says it's after episode 9.
I mean, as far as Jay and I are concerned, it could probably be called Kiss My Ass, but
Yeah, definitely.
Tatooine.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Tatooine.
Tatooine. Well, peace to the regular militant on the check-in. Let me just rewind and recap for my brother who just got in, for our brother right here. He's asking, why are they hating the Mandalorian? Well, there's this lady called Anita Sarkeesian, and she's the reason why, one of the reasons why Gamersgate happened. And so now she's rounded up her little SJW Kool-Aid in the hair ass bitches, and they're just marching towards the Mandalorian now, simply because, you ready for this one? The Mandalorian is not a woman, doesn't have a strong female role lead, and there aren't any females in it. And now, just like the Mighty Maze had pointed out, the bitch must not have been watching the show, because the leader of the damn Mandalorian cult is a woman. The blacksmith, she makes their weapons as well. You understand? They're gonna add on Gina Carino. They're gonna add on Ming Na Wei, which was Chun-Li in Street Fighter, the live action movie. There's a lot of things going on, bro. There's a lot of things going on, and these people are just kicking and complaining so we can cater to them.
2 of the episodes are being directed by women.
Yeah. Yeah, the last.
First time ever
Yeah, the
in
last
live action Star Wars, and they're not even mentioning that
And
these
one of the two
SJWs.
is already the most beloved by the fans.
Yeah,
And these SJWs who say they're pro women, they're not even mentioning that.
yeah. You know, I just gotta tell these fucking feminist bitches this, and I'm gonna just say it once, okay? You're stepping up for movies when you should be stepping up against these transvestites that are ruining little girls' fucking futures and taking their fucking scholarships away. You know, that's what you should be fighting for. Don't you think? Instead of, oh, we don't have enough females. Well, you know what? The strongest platform where you can stand up and say we don't have enough females is there, you stupid bitch. Not here on Star Wars where it's already set in print. You dumb bitch. You just don't do that. You don't do that. See, a lot of you guys like to stand up for shit, but you're standing up on one leg instead of two, you dumb bitches. Yeah. So why don't you just color your pussy hair while you're at it? And stand with your pants down since you're already walking around naked and wearing your fucking vagina hats. Just stand around and fucking kill yourselves. I can't stand you women. I just, and I'm not talking to I'm talking feminists. You SJW feminists. Each and every one of you guys that are saying Batwoman is great when you've only got like not even one star and it's about to be canceled. Oh, the Flash should have been a woman. No, don't think so. No. You know, doing this, gender swapping, is just destroying everything. 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 And most of you feminists out there, you need to try something. And I'm look, go get yourself a bag of dicks. Okay? If you can't fill them up with water and batteries, then get yourself a real one. But what I'm saying is you need dick in your life. Okay? All of you feminists out there that have not that the reason why you're doing this is because you're bored. You have nothing to do. You're tired of your fingers. You're tired of the rabbit. Get yourself a man. You know what I'm saying? Procreate. Have a child. Tell that little motherfucker what to do. But don't do it to us fucking adults. Are you crazy? That's just my rant. All of a sudden, everybody got silent. Holy shit, Jay. What the fuck did you say? I'm sorry, guys. But I'm gonna say it. I can't stand her, and I can't stand women that stand for this shit like this, and they're not really talking the way they're supposed to be talking or standing up the way they're supposed to be standing up for things like transgenders. Like women right now are supposed to be very mad at transgenders. I think that they are mad at transgenders, but they're mad at alphas. They're mad at us. They're mad at males. No, no. Don't get mad at the guys that are not wearing makeup and dresses. Get mad at the guys that are wearing makeup and dresses. You understand what I'm saying? Just in case you got that fucked up. We are the guys that open the door for you. We are the guys that fucking, that fulfill your needs. We are the guys that, fix your shit. Like, we are the guys that beat people up and make sure that you guys are out of fucking harm's way. You need to respect us the same way we're respecting you. Chivalry is not dead. But these feminists and real women, the real women, you need to stand up to these feminists too. Because now they're talking about we can't have children because of climate change. The fuck is this? You know, it's to a point where we gotta sit back as men, and we gotta hold our nuts in our hands while we're looking off into the sky and say to ourselves, is it gonna come down to one day me chopping these shits off to make people happy? In order for me to survive, do I have to chop my own nuts off? Well, I'll tell you right now, people around me, if I have to chop my nuts off, you're going to be a whole bunch of miserable motherfuckers because I am not going to make you happy. My nuts are staying right in between my pelvis. All right? They're staying in between my asshole and gooch. Fuck you. My nuts stay where they are. I am not castrating myself for no women, no agenda, nobody. Nobody. And just stand up against these people. These people just want to destroy everything that you hold dear to you. Notice this, guys. They want to destroy everything that is dear to you. You know, if you love your mother, if you love your sister, and the SJW looks at her and says her hair's too long, and you go and you ask her, why are you saying that my mother or my sister's hair is too long? And they're gonna tell you, well, we feel that that these aren't the standards of the way a woman should be holding herself today. First of all, who the fuck made you the fucking standard captain? Okay, who told you that her decisions on the way she wants to uphold her fucking self, in which she's been brushing her teeth, washing her ass, washing her hair, getting dressed all these years by herself. Now you wanna correct her now because she doesn't meet your standards. Fuck your standards. You have no standards. You have no creativity. You have nothing in this era. We gave you movies, you fucked them up. We gave you music, you fucked that up. We gave you pornos. Them things don't even generate anymore. You're ruining everything. Everything. You're killing it. You're killing it. And it starts with these feminist women. These women who want to correct things. These women who say Chuck Norris is toxic. Fuck you. I love Chuck Norris. Oh, I don't like basketball. Fuck you. I like basketball. I don't like boxing. It's too bloody. Fuck you. I like boxing. I like wrestling. I like volleyball. I love beach volleyball. God damn it. I love beach volleyball. And if you SJWs touch my beach volleyball, if you make these women wear something, I swear to God, oh my God, it's all out war. If they touch my beach volleyball, it's a war out here, fellas. And you know what I'm talking about, beach volleyball, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have seen beach volleyball. We
You
can
probably want them to wear robes now or something.
yeah. They have to wear Amidala robes. Get out of here. Are you kidding me? I can understand that times change, but damn, you guys are getting real ridiculous with change. The word change, like I feel, and I don't like Obama, but I feel Obama was sort of like warning us subliminally, like change, change, change. God damn, you guys are really trying to force the change, man. Think about this.
Well, when you elected me, this country want to change.
Yeah, well, you got your change. Uh, Men will be chopping off their balls, and women will be chopping off their titties, and the deficit is going up. And of course, we've got to kick up the racism, because if we don't, we're not changing. Get the fuck out of here. The last 8 years before Trump, I'd rather go back to the Bush era. I'm sorry, the sun. That's how bad it is. I'd rather go back there.
You know who George W. Bush used to talk like, man. I shit you not, man. Go back to the Dukes of Hazzard from the 70s and listen to the voice of Roscoe P. Coltrane. It's the exact same goddamn voice.
No, man.
And when the dude that played him got real old before he died, he sounded even more like W. Or W sounded more like him.
My name Roscoe Pico.
I don't know why the American people are picking on me.
Yeah, man.
It's all about her.
Yeah. The one who played the original blonde Duke of Hazzard, he's like gonna make a like reunion movie or
John Schneider.
Something. Yeah, he's planning on it.
Okay, that I want to see what Daisy looks like. Daisy Dukes.
Catherine Bach.
Yeah, because she was bad back in the days, boy.
She's still pretty.
Man, she was bad. Yo, it's her, fucking Linda Carter, Erin Gray, fucking Pam Grier. Yo, these women have not fucking aged. Like, you can still want to fuck these fucking old decrepit bitches.
I like how the Dukes of Hazzard started her out in a low slung sports car, kind of like the General Lee, except it was like I think it was a Dodge Charger of an earlier make. They wreck it, and then Daisy threatens to kill him, and then they put her instead in a brand new Jeep. It's high up off the ground with no doors, show off them legs.
And then when she got to climb up on them, she got to stretch them legs.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? She got to, oh, Oh yeah, definitely. You know, yeah,
Yeah,
man. Look,
her first vehicle was a Plymouth Roadrunner.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Bo and Luke wrecked it, and one of the scenes before the end of that episode was her like chasing them around the barn with a knife or some shit.
Yeah,
She's like going to kill them.
That was great. And since we're in the categories of real good-looking women, like Knight Rider as well, bro. David Hasselhoff, he has some cute chicks up in that movie, in the series, especially Bonnie. Bonnie, the one that used to fix Kit, she was a looker too, man. You know, she looked like she can suck the banana peel off of a banana without her fucking.
The most memorable scene between him and Bonnie was in the fucking Mad Magazine take of Knight Rider. David Hasselhoff is up behind her going, "Why do you pay more attention to that car than you do me?" She said, "Because I know how to turn the car off."
Wow. Wow. That's a good one.
Man.
If that's not a you need to cool down, boy line, then I don't know what else to say.
And then you got Erin Gray on Buck Rogers.
Oh my God, bro!
She just did nothing but get hotter.
Yeah, and wasn't that Ricky Schroeder's fucking mom's in Silver Spoon?
Yes, she was in Silver Spoons later. She was the love interest.
Yeah, she was in Buck Rogers though, man. That jumpsuit she used to wear, boy. God damn it, I'm old. Holy shit. I'm about to sing Buck Rogers to all you guys right now.
We had those shows back then, like Jason of Star Command and its sister show, Space Academy. If you saw the Space Academy like ship, you instantly remember what it was.
Yeah.
Hell, I watched that shit more than I watched the original Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, Battlestar Galactica, man, was bad as fuck, bro. Bad as hell. And I used to like the Falcon dude from Battlestar Galactica. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Falcon headdress. His wife was bad as fuck too, bro.
You talking about Hawk from Buck Rogers?
Yeah. Yeah.
He becomes Buck's friend after his wife dies on it or something like that.
Bro, but wasn't his wife a good-looking fucking bird bitch?
Mm-hmm. Bird
bitch. I don't know how else to, bird bitch. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how else to fucking describe her. But she was very hot. But I want to ask you guys a serious question here.
Okay.
With no bias, no nothing. But on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give Daisy Ridley?
Real life or in her movies?
Real life.
Oh, she's a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw a 6 at her, a 7, because she's got long legs. I'm a leg man.
She's just too. She's like she's too boyish looking. She's too boyish looking. If her face looked more feminine, I'd probably give her a 6.
I think she looked good at the red carpet event. She had lipstick on. She had her hair up in a bun. Bro, I would have gave her the force, bro. Oh my God, bro.
You ever notice though when she smiles, her lips totally disappear?
Yeah, they go like right there, like the hi.
Girl's got the biggest damn teeth I've ever seen.
She got fucking chiclets for teeth.
And she's got a set of chompers, all right.
Hell yeah. Okay, this is for Big Boys Boxing. Just for you, standing room only. Look at what happened to me. I can't believe it myself. Suddenly something, I don't know the lyrics, but here comes, ready? Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. There we go, flying away on a wing and a prayer. Ooh, it's me. Believe it or not, it's just me. There we go. That's the greatest American hero.
And the missing lyric was "Suddenly I'm up on top of the world." Should have been somebody else.
There we go. The force is strong with that forehead.
I used to laugh at that show, man. fucking.
Yo, I love that show. That show, bro, it's hilarious.
As a little kid, I didn't pay much attention to the in between scenes, but anytime he would start flying, that's comic relief for a kid right there, man.
Bro,
he's like, ah!
And I think his weakness was seeing the color red, right? Was it a flashing red? I think it was a flashing red. His weakness was his kryptonite was a flashing red. So he had to avoid street lights and shit. I remember that. That's why he had to fly so fucking high. And then in order to activate his fly, he had to take 3 steps. And I think a little boy taught him how to do that shit. Because he was trying to fly. A little boy was like, "Are you a superhero?" I think it was in the pilot. He was like, "I'm trying to be." He goes, "You got to take 3 steps. All superheroes take 3 steps in order for them to fly." So he looks at him and he's like, so he steps back, he moves him back, and he takes 1, 2, and he trips on the 3rd one, and that's like, whoosh, and he always looks like he's tripping while he's flying and shit. Yeah, man. You know, they need to really make that shit, man. They really need to bring that back, and they really need to like give it digital quality. You know what I mean? Because that was a good series, man. That was a good series.
There's stuff from back then that I like remember, but I don't remember what it was about. There was like Space 1999. Everybody like remembers the ship from that thing.
Yeah, that ship looked crazy.
It was like a shuttle or something. And then there was Shazam back then.
I remember Shazam
live action.
I remember that, along with the Spider-Man live action.
Mm-hmm.
The Captain America movie.
And Spider-Man on the Electric Company.
Oh, man.
Spider-Man, where are you coming from, Spider-Man?
All the old Spider-Man cartoons are all on Disney Plus right now.
Yo, I remember Spider-Man kid. Yo, for the Electric Company, I used to love that shit. I used to wait till it come on. That shit was only on for like 2 minutes. But he'd come out, and all of a sudden, it was so cheap because when he spun his web, it was like a blinking light. And then all of a sudden, they covered in rope and shit. That shit.
There was that episode. I found it on YouTube the other day. I'll send it to you, where he confronts the wall. He's at a baseball game. He's got like a hot dog and shit, and the wall insults him, and that's how the wall gets sprayed with the web. He's like, "Look at him. He's trying to eat a hot dog with no mouth."
You guys are crazy, bro. Hell yeah. The Hulk live action was serious with Bill Bixby.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. I used to love that, man. Listen, the thing I used to love about the Hulk TV series back in the days was this motherfucker would change on dire consequences, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he just didn't change just because he got mad.
No,
like he changed for reasons. Like, and it was genius the way they used to make him change. And then Mr. McGee, that annoying motherfucker. Like
when he like squinted real hard and then his eyes opened, shit was getting real. You know what was funny about that though, and I would talk about this like incessantly with my high school friends. Long after the show was over, it was like it would always have Bill Bixby in a situation where he's locked in a house, the house is on fire, he can't get out. He's like scrambling around the kitchen, knocking shit around, trying to find a way out. Then he slips and bangs his head.
He get mad. All of a sudden.
Did you see the movie after the show that he did called The Death of the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah,
that was actually
awesome.
sad.
That was awesome. But yo, the way he died was corny. He fell from a plane. The Hulk would have survived that.
Right. I think there was something to, well, and maybe not. I thought maybe there was something to the fact that he changed back into Bill Bixby at the end. Like maybe he was changing back as he fell. I don't know.
No, he's fucking out of a plane and the Hulk landed and fucking he broke his bone. He was indestructible. If anything, the Hulk would have got up and said, "That's nothing."
You know what? You're right. In the Incredible Hulk, that's how Edward Norton changed into him at one point. He just jumped out of a helicopter and right into the damn concrete.
Exactly. And even in the video game, the new Avengers video game that's gonna come out soon, she goes, "You're up, Bruce," and he goes, "I know." And then he runs out and he jumps out on Bruce Banner for him, and then all of a sudden, while he's falling down, he's changing into the Hulk and shit, And that's the whole thing. Like the Hulk is indestructible, and he was mad when he fell out the plane, so he would have been totally impervious to that pain. Like he would have he would have just got pissed off and probably tried to jump. He probably would have jumped at the plane and brought it down. But that would.
But I love those action sequences with Bill Bixby in the 70s. You had that 70s music to it. It's like there's another one that's on YouTube where the Hulk's fighting a bear.
Yeah.
And they're in the water fighting, so you can imagine what's going to happen. The fucking green makeup starts coming off on the bear.
He said,
you can see it. And then he throws the bear. That's the funniest part. The Hulk throws the bear. And the Hulk can throw a bear. But when you see the bear fly across the screen, it's clearly a giant stuffed animal.
Yo, those were the days though, man. And what's funny is that we probably knew when we saw it, but we played it off like, yeah, we know it's a bear, but fuck it, it's part of the program. We're like, yeah, it's a bear, but it's part of the program.
my favorite episode, dude, was that 2-parter. It was real serious too. It was well written. It was the one where he comes across that second Hulk. That guy that was fucking around with the gamma rays. He wanted to be the Hulk.
Yeah, he had that protruding fucking forehead, his brow and shit. He looked crazy. He looked like
Frankensteinish.
He looked like today's modern dead meth head.
But you get to part 2, and at the end they're like fighting and shit, and you're like, yeah. When they start like going at it,
he just looked taller than the Hulk, but he was puny.
He was puny. You knew Lou was gonna rip his ass out.
Yeah, that was like a wino. They just dressed up and shit, and because that's what he looked like. He looked like a fucking wino. The guy looked like a fucking wino. Trying to play the fucking counterpart of the Hulk or whatever. But the Ed Norton Hulk was pretty good too.
I really liked that movie. And even though they say, it had nothing to do with Ang Lee's Hulk, it felt like a continuation of it, kind of. Because, you catch up with Bruce, and his name's David or whatever now, and he's in South America, which is where the other Banner disappeared to at the end of
that's where the last movie, the Ang Lee Hulk movie, left off in South America, and the Marvel Universe Hulk movie started off in South America.
Right.
But there was a lot of fan service to old school Hulk fans. Like there's that scene where Norton starts walking by himself, and you hear the David Banner end of the Hulk credit music playing. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
There also, there was like a TV in the background, and Bill Bixby was on it from like another movie he did.
Yeah. When he was in South America, yes, there was Bill Bixby on TV. That man went way before his time too.
Oh yeah, man.
Like 96.
Bill Bixby. Bill Bixby was a great actor, man. He was a great actor. And he has said that his favorite project, the most favorite thing he's ever done was, the Incredible Hulk, because he liked the Jekyll and Hyde, perspective of it, and he also liked the range that he was able to, he was able to throw, especially in a TV series. You know what I mean? Like, in a TV series, you're very limited. You know what I mean? You've got a certain box to stay in. You can act certain ways, but with this role, he was able to go beyond the dramatic and emotional. You know what I mean? Like he loved it.
Perfect example. There was an episode where David Banner got paralyzed.
Yeah.
But like turning into the Hulk eventually healed him. Like the Hulk, he turns into the Hulk the first time. The Hulk's like, "What the fuck is this shit?" He's punching his own legs.
Yeah.
He's like, "Get up!" So he starts walking, and then David Banner, as soon as he turns back, he starts recovering each time he turns into the Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you could do lots of shit with that, with the Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, yeah. And what I liked about it is that, like in the comic books, the Hulk tried to suicide himself. David Banner tried to suicide himself, and the Hulk just fucking caught the bullet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he just wouldn't let him die. He's like, no, I don't die. It's crazy, and I don't care where Marvel goes from here on. That's another thing I want to talk about, because that's just been SJW the fuck out as well. I don't care where Marvel goes on from here. This is the Marvel the Marvel Shooniverse,
Right.
It's gonna be all she. It's gonna be everything is gonna be female, and Captain Marvel's gonna be the face. So
can you really say? Endgame's gonna be it for me, but can you really say that Endgame didn't warn you with that one scene? I took that as a warning, very, very clear one.
The one with all the women, the women's night out
that
scene.
Very unnecessary scene where you should have had them all walk out together.
Exactly. That was, yeah.
The other thing was Captain Marvel taking that headbutt from Thanos. That was the most douche chill. She didn't even flinch. I'm like, what? She fucking Superman now? Even Superman would probably flinch.
Yeah.
Darkseid headbutted him.
He motherfucker had to take out the Power Stone in order to punch her in her face. Really?
I'm interested in where DC goes though.
Yeah, me too.
We haven't seen Darkseid yet.
Joker 2 has been announced.
Cool.
Where are they going with this?
Maybe to introduce him into possibly the current timeline where they left off with Justice League. I don't know.
I mean, think about it. It depends how old the Joker. It depends how old Arthur was then. And remember, this was the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Wayne was younger.
Actually, it was the early 80s.
The early 80s. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So it's the early 80s. So that means that Joker's possibly going to be in his late 50s, early 60s if they do decide to throw a Batman in the second one.
He could be that age.
Well, I
mean,
think,
Jack Nicholson was.
I think in the current DC Comics canon, like they hinted that there were actually like several Jokers over the years or something. I didn't look into it that much. I'm more of a Star Wars fan than a comic. I do like comics, but
yeah,
I think that's what they were hinting at. I don't know if they played it out or anything, or if it was supposed to be like multiple universe Jokers or whatever. But
yeah,
problem is, how are you gonna play Joker off that Twilight motherfucker? You know what they need to do? Dude, seriously, just going forward, you want to fix the whole Justice League thing? Bring back Christian Bale.
Yeah,
just bring him back. He still looks the part. He can do just fine.
Yeah, and tell Henry Cavill, right? That's his name, no, right? Henry Cavill, whatever his name.
Henry Cavill.
Cavill. Tell him to shave, no CG, because that's what ruined it. They left the beard on him.
He looks so fucked up.
Oh my god, bro! He looked like he was giving his teeth a blowjob.
That was before deep fake got any good at all.
My goodness!
It's like, we just CGI out the mustache. Well,
that's crazy.
They should have just left him looking like Freddie Mercury. It's just.
he says Super Mercury.
Freddie Mercury did occasionally he came out on some buff guy, he would ride on his shoulders, and sometimes that buff guy would be dressed as Darth Vader, sometimes he would be dressed as Superman.
Yeah.
And Freddie Mercury would come out on his shoulders. I've seen pictures of that on the internet.
I gotta see that shit.
I was excited for Cavill at first because Man of Steel was okay. I mean, like we talked about in the last thing, Zod sucked. You won't ever replicate Terrence Stamp with the equivalent of a college bully, drunk college bully. Right. That's not how it works, Cal. I'm experienced with war, Cal. But Cavill, they did a promo shot of him before they actually started filming the actual Man of Steel, and they put him in one of Christopher Reeve's original Superman outfits.
Yeah.
And they did one shot, and I was like, man, that's cool looking. Even though the uniform probably won't end up looking like that. I mean, that gets me hyped.
Yeah.
And then, oh man, they tried to put too much into one movie. I liked Batman versus Superman at first, but I totally respected the comic fans' hatred of it.
Yeah.
I understood why they didn't like it. And, now that I'm looking back on it a little bit better, they tried to put too damn much in one movie. I mean, they just went straight to the death of Superman in the first Justice League movie. Why the fuck would you do that? Is that really all you got?
Yeah.
Story-wise, you should have saved that shit for Darkseid or for something.
Big time. And then what I didn't like is, the way they just threw Doomsday in there.
That too.
Generically, that was the most generic Doomsday I've ever seen in my life.
I don't like when movies take a long, carefully told story and try and bunch it all up into 1-2 hour shit. Like, I don't like that when they try and like, what's the word? Just
compact.
Abridge it, I guess.
Abridge it. Yeah.
They just, there's a story that took like 2 seasons of TV or comics to tell, and we're just going to cram it into 2 hours. That's why I don't think The Rise of Skywalker might not be any good, because it's JJ announced the length of that damn movie today. Did you catch that?
No.
2 hours 21 minutes. There's no way.
That's it.
The way Craig originally described it, there is no way they're going to wrap it up neatly in 2 hours and 21 minutes.
It's going to be a fucking mess.
That's less time than The Last Jedi, and The Last Jedi went by fast.
What was the 221? What was the runtime? The Last Jedi was 230.
I think it was like 230, 235.
Yeah. What was the runtime of The Force Awakens? 218, 219. I know it was quick. It was. I know it was
215.
215. Yeah, I knew it was a fast one.
See, I was hoping for something like mega epic at least. Like they could, if they want to try and cram it all in there, then let's go 3 hours. Let's go with a final movie filmed in 2 parts. Let's go with 4 hours and do the old school intermissions like they did with big classic movies in the 80s, like Amadeus.
Yeah.
Or Gandhi. Make me get up and go take a piss.
Yeah. Oh, Scarface. Remember Scarface? You had an intermission.
Yeah.
They gave you an intermission and stuff like that. And
I'm pretty sure The Godfather 2, they had one too.
Yeah, and now it's like, man, everything is lost, man. The movie, the silver screen, all that, it's got no value anymore. It's all gone. And it's like, I always said to myself, if I come out in life and I wind up getting a mansion, I'm making myself a movie theater in one of the rooms. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's totally lost everything, man. It's feel to it. Man, I remember standing in line for premieres, bro, in the rain, getting to talk to people and talk about the movie while you're waiting on there. You know what I mean? That shit don't happen anymore. It's not here anymore. I
remember waiting outside for the line to get into Superman 2. Who are we talking to? We're talking to somebody going to see The Great Muppet Caper, and I'm just like, movie you want to see sucks.
I remember when I went to go see the Empire Strikes Back, actually all Star Wars, all of them. There was a line going around the movie theater, 42nd Street,
oh yeah,
City, and I tell you, man, me and my father, and then I'm online. The parents are talking to each other, and then kids are playing. We were all playing around and shit like that, and we had sticks colored red and green and you know what I'm saying, and blue, and we're just like clashing them and stuff like that, and it was just fucking cool, man. And now it's like, the reason why they don't get this in this generation, in this era, the reason why they don't get it is simply because they feel that they can grab hold of whatever it is that was made, and they can rearrange it and make it better. Mm-hmm. When something is made like that and it's classic, you leave it like that. The most you can try to do is try to match it.
Right. Now it's going to be
try to match it,
Well, it's going to be. I didn't die. I wasn't really there. I think that's the newest one.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Now we're supposed to believe that the emperor that died was a fucking clone.
Yeah, it's the rumor I've been hearing.
I had a clone there. Anakin didn't know anything. Yeah. Why do I sound like DJD?
Yeah,
Fun times had by all.
Fun times had by all, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. I mean, we're gonna, so Palpatine must be an old fucking. He how is he gonna sword fight?
Well, I mean,
how's he gonna saber? How's he gonna
tries to use the Force.
until they computer animated him fighting Yoda, he couldn't swing a sword very well. I mean, if I'm being honest, I mean that shit with Mace Windu was kind of lightsaber patty cake, but I mean he tried. No, seriously though. I think it's just going to be a bunch of what's the words from The Exorcist? Vulgar displays of power. Whatever he does, I bet you anything Ray will do it worse. Like, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, well, I'm gonna do this. That whole thing about stomping a mud hole in his ass.
Yo, bro.
That's the latest, and they can't even get it all straight. It's just
they don't know what they're doing. They just they lost. Listen, like I said, they should have started. Disney should have started going backwards. They should have covered Kotar. They should have covered everything before episodes 1, 2, and 3. Not try to fucking compare or try to even finish something that didn't need any fixing or finishing. Okay, episode 6. That's it. Leave it alone. Now, if you wanted Rogue One, which was before New Hope, no problem. If you wanted to do anything before episode 1, 2, and 3, no problem. It could have been done. But no, you want to go and you want to try to match George Lucas's work, and you're not. That was an impossible feat for these guys. I mean, look at them. Look at them. And Ryan Johnson, since he's not creative at all, I don't see where Kathleen fucking Palpatine Kennedy is over here calling him a genius.
Shit. You know what, Jay? If this world is an alternate reality, does that mean there's been an entire fucking decade somewhere else in another reality where good Star Wars movies have been released? God damn it.
Yeah, well, there's probably another universe where like George Lucas sold to Fox, or probably like sold he sold it to Fox for like $7 billion, and Fox has made at least the first 2 movies. Now alternate universe, Fox is owned by,
or he kept it and just handpicked 3 young directors to do his story treatments.
Yeah, and they actually did what he wanted. We actually got to see the what the hell, the elders. We finally got to see them in that reality, because I mean, it feels.
He wanted it to be about the Force's trilogy, his sequel trilogy, right?
The wills. He wanted the wills.
The wills and the microscopic level of the Force, but that might have just been a brief scene. I don't know.
Yeah, but what he really wanted was was the story of was Luke and his nephew and niece, but for some reason they just had fucking emo Ren.
Darth Cassius Light.
It's because people like KK and JJ and RJ, they're against traditional families. That's why. That's why they made Kylo Ren emo. That's why they made Rey a nobody. That's why they made Luke and Han deadbeats. It's because they don't believe in traditional families. That's why.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why.
Basically.
Yeah, they're trying to connect too much of that modern, cinema is more about reality. No, you should have left Star Wars alone.
Yeah.
We go to see Star Wars to escape that fucking reality.
That's exactly what I said earlier in this broadcast, man. It's like sci-fi, you stupid fucks. Sci-fi. Okay? Nothing in reality is supposed to go into sci-fi, No. And this is what they've done.
Sci-fi and space opera. I mean, like I said, the books made a lot of mistakes, but it took a long time before they even tried to kill anybody off. There was a in the first trilogy after the Zahn trilogy, the Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command, where Lando got fatally shot, and you thought in the book he was gonna die, but he didn't, because you're like, nah, this is way too soon for this shit. The good guys, they just keep on living in the Star Wars universe, and that's fine because it's Star Wars.
Yeah,
but man, the other thing is Luke Skywalker killing him off. They never even tried to address what that would be like in the books. What they did was they fast forwarded 100 years to his nephew, Cade Skywalker to where Luke was already dead. He just appeared as a vision, and we didn't have to deal with that. I don't think any writer out there would have wanted to tackle that, because I think the EU fans would have probably done what they did when they did it in the Last Jedi.
Yeah. Did you hear as well? I wanted to bring this up. This shit just hit me now. Kathleen Kennedy has said that the Baby Yoda in the Mandalorian was her idea.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, maybe her idea after she stole it from whoever's idea it originally was and called it her idea.
This chick said, the Baby Yoda, that was my idea.
Well, didn't she also claim that the Vader massacre hallway scene in Rogue One was her idea too? Didn't she say that also?
Yeah.
The Vader scene in Rogue One was mother necessity. That was Disney coming in and saying, this needs to feel a little bit more like classic Star Wars, and we know Vader sells. We need to put him in there somewhere. And that was Gareth Edwards saying, okay, we'll put him in here. That shoot was done 4 weeks out from the release of the film. 4 weeks. That was decided upon at the last minute, and I'm pretty sure the only involvement Kathleen Kennedy may have had in it was to put some official yes on it.
Yeah.
Other than that, Mr. Pete, yesterday we were talking about how Kathleen Kennedy, not yesterday, just whenever the last stream we did was, we were talking about how Kathleen Kennedy, she's one of the go-go dancers in the intro to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
She was?
Yes. When the screen comes up, it says Associate Producer Kathleen Kennedy. The words Associate Producer are centered on her carcass. She's like 1 or 2 rows back because she's not as good looking as the other women. But yeah, she's there.
Huh. So she was one of the dancing girls in the chorus line, right?
Yep. One of the ones, not one of the ones with Kate Capshaw. Those were Asian gals, but the ones that were dressed in the silvery glitter and the hats.
Who would have thought?
I gotta take a closer look next time before Disney edits that out.
You got Netflix? Go to Netflix. You can see Temple of Doom on Netflix right now.
Yeah, like who would have thought? Who would have thought a bitch that used to make Steven Spielberg's coffee would fucking ruin an American cult classic, man? You know? That's sad, man. That's a bitch who used to make Sanka for fucking for Steven Spielberg. Okay? A chick that used to just push papers, bro. She's a glorified secretary, man. George Lucas. I'm gonna have to go as far as to say she probably sucked your fucking cack, and you probably told her you got it. That it had to be that, because how could you not see this coming, bro? How could you not see this coming? How could you not see this coming?
Yeah. I mean, like KK, she probably doesn't know barely anything about the Star Wars universe. If somebody were to ask her what her favorite model of droid was, she'd probably go, "Oh, I use iPhones."
Oh, I figured you were gonna say she named that. What was the name of that robot in the Jetsons? The maid,
Rosie.
Rosie.
Yeah, I like Rosie.
Yeah.
You need to put her in the movie.
So he said, like, "What's your favorite model of droid?" She'd go, like, "I know, I use iPhones."
It's ridiculous, man. She should know what Star Wars slang is or Star Wars jargon. You know what I mean? She should have that at least. I mean, come on.
She probably doesn't know the difference between a sandcrawler and a sand trooper. So that's she probably she like knows who Luke is. She knows who Darth Vader is. But like when it comes to like more detailed versions of the Force, she's got like nothing on like say Dave Filoni,
other than it's female.
Yeah,
Force is female.
Yeah, okay. All right. Look, I know we keep bringing up the shirt. The Force is female. The Force is female. You know how Disney could put that to an end, like at the next convention, whenever like either Favreau or Dave Filoni or Bryce Dallas Howard, who's directing episodes of The Mandalorian, like they come out with shirts that say the Force is for everybody, and everyone was.
How about shirts that say You are the Force.
Yes, there you go. There you go. And you know what? That would stop me from saying the
That's
Force
much
is female,
better,
the
Jay.
Force is female.
Yeah,
you need to make that a thing, Jay. Because
I will, definitely will. It was made by us three tonight.
Yeah,
we gotta
the
have
Force is for you.
we everybody.
You are the Force.
Right here, yeah, us three right here, and everybody in the chat. Whenever you talking Star Wars, hashtag that. You are the Force.
Yeah, that's all they got to do is come out wearing shirts like that, and everyone will shut up about that Force is female.
Force is female. Man, listen, the Force is female. I think they were setting that up to let us know that Princess Leia was the ultimate Jedi and passing it down to Rey, I guess.
So the Force needs a maxi pad.
The Force is menstrual.
Yeah, you're gonna take it that way. It's gonna be.
Oh shit, man, this is crazy, bro. I mean, I sit here and I look at my Star Wars collection and shit, and I say to myself, thank God I wasn't one of those guys. Like there was one guy that got so mad that he burned all 222,000 figures and everything that he had of Star Wars and burned it. He just straight burned the shit. He got rid of his whole collection.
He probably regretted that after, but that kind of shit happens.
No, but that's the thing though. Like, imagine you spending all this. I mean, not imagine it happened, but you spend all this money, bro, and you try to push a franchise forward. You support a franchise for so that way in the future, it's not the creator of the whole damn thing. It wasn't him. It was whoever he left in charge and sold it to that is basically saying, "Fuck you. Your fandom is no longer needed. You can get the fuck out of here." Like that. That's exactly what happened. That's what they've done to us.
Yeah. Disney didn't know anything about the Star Wars fans or how to please them, so what they did was they left them behind, and they're like, "Fuck it, we got this fan base that's already attached to us. Let's try and sell it to them." And
Mads, you're breaking up.
Well, so is Jay.
Okay. Oh, Jay's breaking up now.
Jay, I just said, yeah, I'm here. You got me?
Oh, yeah.
We hear you clear, but you're not moving.
Yeah, your picture is not moving.
Oh, wow. Okay, I just said, Disney and fun. What?
They announced something was coming to Galaxy's Edge. I can't remember what. Oh, they're like testing X-wing drones for Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I heard about the X-wing drones.
How stupid is that going to look? First of all, the way a drone flies, I've seen like the Millennium Falcon drones. They're stupid looking, but these are going to be about the size of a small SUV or something.
Damn.
Like, okay, that's nice, but I mean, what?
Sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
Bro, somebody lose control of that shit, and it hits a fucking park goer. Oh my god!
Drones sound kind of like the Jetsons car. You just come in sounding like the Jetsons car when it crashes.
Well, I remember like 4 or 5 years ago, Disney allegedly was also working on like a blaster, like an actual blaster, like that would shoot like a projectile.
Wow.
Now I don't know if it was like a ball of flame or like some kind of like
fancy laser pointer.
Yeah, like a fancy laser pointer, or something that actually. Like maybe it shot something that looked like a blaster, a blaster bolt, but I don't know what happened to that project. Maybe they gave up on that. Maybe they thought it was too dangerous. Like they don't want somebody to lose an eye or something.
Like I said, Disney opened up a theme park of one ho-hum virtual reality ride. I say ho-hum because that tech has been around for a while. It's in the game Battlefront 1 if you want to experience it at home, and one virtual reality ride, one lightsaber factory, and just a bunch of goddamn vendors
for no reason.
It's a theme park full of vendors. There's nothing. We were talking about this a while back, and we've talked about it in detail. Like, what what could they bring in? You know, like some people want to walk in and experience Hoth. Some people want to maybe just take a tour of an AT-AT. Some people they want to immerse themselves inside what Star Wars is, and they don't appear to be touching any of this shit.
That's crazy, man.
It's just like here's a rock in space called Batu. Buy some shit, buy some dumb drinks. Here's this dumb thing with the Millennium Falcon with one of the most annoying characters from Star Wars Rebels, Hondo.
Oh God.
And you're gonna go on this mission in the Falcon that probably isn't that hard to complete. I'm just guessing it doesn't have like a challenge level because they want to get you in and out of there so the next people can come in.
Yeah,
that's another thing. Like, how old is Hondo supposed to be now? He was in the Clone Wars. Then he was in Rebels, and now like he's in the time period of the sequel trilogy. So he's got to be at least 80 or 90 in human years.
Well, if you learn anything from sci-fi over the years, that includes Star Wars and Star Trek and all others. Anything that's not human lives longer than humans.
Yeah, right.
We're always the weak species.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how old Hondo is. He could be he could live a little longer. But yeah, of all the characters they just suddenly decided to bring in, that lets me know that Hybrid. I was gonna say I agree with that, and I was always wondering back in the beginning, why didn't it at least appear like Disney was knocking on the doors of these people? It's not like they couldn't afford them at the time. They're sitting on top of all this money they hadn't spent yet to invest, and they can afford to hire Ian McDermott to come and do the voice of the Emperor in a couple of episodes of Rebels.
Yeah,
but they can't afford Ridley Scott or James Cameron.
No, they could afford them, but they probably didn't have as much creative control as they wanted.
You know what I think it is, man, as well? They just didn't want to give us what we wanted because at the same time, notice how every time George Lucas kept giving us what we wanted, it kept getting more and more expensive for him, And I think that's what it is as well. Like Disney said, you know what, we make our own characters, we'll do it our own way. Fuck this. Because remember, they also felt like they overspent, when they bought. But at the same time, how the fuck are you gonna say you overspent on Star Wars, right? You say you overspent on Star Wars when Star Wars is worth more than fucking Marvel. Star Wars is worth more than fucking Marvel.
Well, it was.
Yeah, what exactly
It was. Well, now Marvel's worth more.
Yeah. The Marvel Sheenaverse.
You should have what you should have done was taken all that money you put into the 2 theme parks and spent it on making Star Wars so great that people were begging for a theme park by the time the sequel trilogy was over with.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck that you opened a theme park before the sequel trilogy ended. That's the thing. Star Wars fans, they know how the waiting game works, and they will wait for something good. They will wait. Yeah. We knew that the movie cycle, even back in the day, what was it, like 2-3 years?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't need a Star Wars movie every year. I need a good Star Wars movie every few years.
Exactly.
But, you don't have to keep farting out these movies that are
and that's what
garbage.
That's what you're saying. I agree with exactly what you're saying, Maze. That right there, what you just said, farting out these movies, right? It's like they spent $4.5 billion to get this, so they figured, oh, okay, we got the license now. Since it's gonna sell for him, it's sold for him. It's gotta sell for us. So let's pump everything out we can. Come on, let's go, let's pump it, let's go. Come on, guys. That's exactly what they did up in there. They just started pumping shit out with no type of content, and they expected us because it had a stamp of Star Wars on it, and Disney, like okay, here's the fine print now, Disney. Now it's Star Wars, Disney Star Wars. There you go. So we were supposed to say, oh shit, man, that shit is pixie dust garbage.
Yeah, they probably thought like, look, everyone says they hate the prequels, but the bean counters were saying like, well, the prequels made $2.5 billion. They probably thought, well, we can We can make whatever we want. They'll buy it as long as we put the Star Wars stamp on it.
Yep.
The day episode 1 opened up, that was an event, man. People were skipping work.
Oh yeah, man.
That's
Empty offices.
That you gotta realize that movie made it just made under $1 billion. That was without CG. That was without 3D. That was without IMAX.
Yeah.
That was without like $50 premiere night. So that was without reserved seating fees. So and everyone was saying like guys like at our Red Letter Media like, oh, it only made that money because people wanted to see it a second and third time to see how bad it was. Like, I don't buy that at all.
Yeah.
All that the hate didn't start until like months later.
I understood the problems people had with the prequels, but I had the same problems too. But for me, it was just not a deal killer. I mean, there was just too much in there. I mean, for me, it was all made worth it when Obi-Wan Kenobi was tapping the dark side and he launched out from behind that force field against Maul, and they just did the dance until Obi-Wan cut him in half.
Yeah,
I mean, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was I mean, I really really liked the prequels.
Yeah, Jar Jar didn't kill the prequels for me. Yeah.
I mean, he was annoying. He was annoying, but not annoying enough, for me to say, oh, he killed the prequels for me. You know what I mean? He was put there for comic relief because I understand what George Lucas said when he said that. He goes, the reason why I made Jar Jar Binks was for comic relief because if I would have put R2D2 and C3PO in there again, it would have been tiresome to us. We would have been like again, like oh God, R2 and C3PO again. He's gonna kick him. He's gonna tell him, you go that way.
Lucas did not respond to fan hatred of Jar Jar by making the next movie full of something he knew we hated.
Exactly.
Jar Jar's screen time was reduced by episode 3. Jar Jar's screen time was reduced by episode 8. All the bullshit was increased.
Right.
The only reason why I personally like Attack of the Clones better than The Force Awakens is because Attack of the Clones had less Jar Jar. That's the only reason why. If the Phantom Menace had less Jar Jar than Attack of the Clones, I would have liked Phantom Menace better than Attack of the Clones.
I knew the Yoda fight was coming, so I was all over that film. But I got to tell you, the first time I heard the title, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Which title?
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
first time it is odd. It's odd.
It's odd, but then it ties in. It ties in because then you find out that Master Jedi Cypher Diaz had set up a clone army, and and they're investigating. So you're like, okay, all right. So now when they make 3, now we know how they turned into stormtroopers. So now we know how. You know what I mean? It's fucking awesome, man. I fucking love Star Wars, man. It's awesome, bro.
It's all based on something Leia said in episode 4. Years ago, you served my father in the Clone Wars. I mean, just that one sentence.
Yeah.
There was a shitload behind that.
Oh, yeah.
George had to go back and invent it. I also didn't agree with people who said Palpatine didn't need a backstory. Maybe he didn't, but it turned out really good.
No, he needed one.
Because 3 movies were just as much his as they were Anakin's.
Right. Because at the end of it all, first of all, it gave it total foundation and structure because here you have, he was trying to seduce Anakin. He seduced him, got him. Now he's his Padawan, right? Should I say? And now they built this empire. Mm-hmm. So you see them go through it together, master and apprentice, right? You see them go through it, and at the end of it all, he chose his real family, his real love, his son.
Right.
But it fucking dies here now with this fucking alternate reality shit because now he really didn't throw Palpatine or the Emperor down the fucking shaftway. It was a clone. This is what they're gonna feed us. So all of that shit back then was worthless, right? No. No. Star Wars ended with me, episode 6. This other shit don't count for me. I'm sorry.
And more to me, that realization as you go forward that the Emperor was in control of all of it. You don't realize it until episode 2. That's where it's made abundantly clear. He was controlling the Trade Federation side, and he was controlling the Republic side. It was all orchestrated just so he could seize control of the entire galaxy.
Yeah.
Well, Mazarus, you said earlier before, like the people were like, "Oh, we didn't need a background story of the Emperor." What did they want him to be, like the president of the Republic already, or something
Return
like?
of the Jedi, the fact that he was a mysterious character then was effective for him as a villain, and I do agree with that viewpoint. It did start out that way, but the OT came first. You know, that was where we were first introduced to him. That's where we were meant to be introduced to him. And he was a mysterious character. It didn't matter at that exact moment in time that he had done all this shit in the past. We just knew he was fucking evil and he could shoot an electric companies with the lightning bolts out of his hands. But, you know, people loved that so much that George thought it was a story worth telling. So, you know, it's like, I'm going to bring back that actor and I'm going to do it from the beginning. Just from the point that he started seizing power.
Yeah. Now, Mazarus, if Snoke didn't die in The Last Jedi, you do believe that Snoke would have had the same role as Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker, right?
Maybe. I mean, the problem is, JJ, I think the way this happened is JJ set up that guy to be, you know, the new big baddie in the background.
Right.
And they started it off right, mysterious, and then Ryan said, I don't know what to do with this guy, so I'm just going to kill him. I don't think JJ knew what to do with him either. That's why the Emperor's coming back. See, because I had heard all these rumors that Snoke could have been like an energy parasite, like he could have come back some way because he wasn't completely human. I mean, it was obvious he wasn't human. His face was like 5 times the size of Rey's.
Right.
He wasn't as giant as he was in the hologram in The Force Awakens, but he was a big dude, and he wasn't human. A couple of a friend of mine, Jay, you're muted, dude, if you're talking to us.
Yeah, he was like Will Chamberlain big.
Right.
Yeah.
A friend of mine jokingly called him Vagina Head because he
he had a big slit.
He had a big slit that could be skull fucked. Yeah, it was kind of like The Exorcist 3. That dude crawled out of the sewer and healed over time. But yeah, I don't think they knew what to do with Snoke. It's like they set him up and they're like, I don't know what to do with him. It's really bad. And you know, this was a worry of mine before we even knew what TFA was going to be about. As soon as Disney took it over, I thought, how do you top Emperor Palpatine? I mean, you can bring back the heroes. They're heroes for a reason. How do you top the Emperor? How do you top him as a villain? I'm like, this is going to take some really good creative thinking. Of course, that didn't happen. But the Emperor is hard as shit to top. He's, in my opinion, BioWare did it in the Old Republic lore with a couple of people. BioWare, but you know, the Emperor. Just the way the story was, you know, Lucas had written it to where by the time the Emperor came around into Galactic, there just wasn't a bigger, badder dude, and there hadn't been for a long time because the Sith were not prolific anymore. There was always just 2 of them. They were always hiding.
Yeah.
Do you believe Plagueis was originally supposed to be? I mean, Snoke was originally supposed to be Plagueis.
I think they should have just taken it that way. It would have been easier. So yeah, the fans came up with the theory first, but so what? I mean, if you confirm a fan theory, who cares? I mean, you know, it's like these guys are. That was Ryan Johnson trying to be too cool for the goddamn room.
Yep.
That's all that was, and it, you know, he just turned out to look like the narcissist that he was. But I mean, the whole thing with Snoke was they were trying to build him up to be something bigger and badder, and I thought When he said the line in the book, I watched the Empire rise and fall, I was like, okay, maybe this guy's really old. And he didn't have to be Darth Bane. He didn't have to be Darth Plagueis. They could have just made him some old character that had figured out he could use the Force and somehow learned the Sith teachings, learned enough of them to be effective.
Yeah. And it was also said, also in the Aftermath books, they didn't mention Snoke, but they said that Palpatine felt this dark side, whatever, this dark side power, this dark side entity from the edge of the known galaxy. I'm assuming that was going to be Snoke,
I thought maybe they were going to tie in Old Republic lore, that maybe it would be Valkorian, maybe tie it into the the whole Mortis story thing. I thought maybe they were going to do that. That was just going to be something bigger and darker that had kind of sat on the side for all those years. There are a lot of ways you could have gone with Snoke, but for whatever reason, JJ and Ryan and Kathleen Kennedy and maybe Pablo Hidalgo, they all seem to feel like the new Star Wars movies, they have to have this element of old Star Wars in them or it doesn't feel right. No, they just have to have good story in them.
Right.
It never had to be... no, Rey didn't have to have Skywalker parents or Solo parents or whatever. She could have been an orphan, but there are a billion ways you could tell that story better. There's a billion ways, and that again is what it all falls back to, is incompetent storytelling. People not taking the time to go back and look through the lore. I mean, Ryan Johnson can sit here and show me his stupid book of whatever the hell that was, trying to excuse the Force Skyping power as something that should have been doable, but all shoving that book in my face tells me is he didn't know a damn thing going into the project. He just kind of wanted to write his own story, and that was the end of it.
Speaking of the ending, do you think they should have just Disney should have been well, Snoke is dead, so maybe we should just make Kylo Ren the big bad? Do you think they should have made Kylo Ren the big bad for no Palpatine? I mean Snoke. I mean Kylo Ren as the big bad. Do you think they should have made him the big bad?
Only if Star Wars is about progress and moving forward, or at least it always has been. That was one of the biggest mistakes, was between Force Awakens and Last Jedi. You had 1 day pass, basically. There's 1 day. Right. That means no character growth. That means nobody grows. Yep. Kylo Ren's still the same asshole. Rey's still the same dingbat. So you go to answer your question. Yes, they could turn the galaxy over to Kylo if they had him basically take his forces and regroup, go into hiding, and you come back 10 years later. You come back 15 years later. Show me this motherfucker's done some growing and that he's an effective bad guy, and that maybe Darth Vader, whom he idolizes, he doesn't have to say a lot of shit and get his sword out and slash control panels to make a point. He just does. He just stands there and chokes your ass.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man, give him some flavor and shit. Red Glove Militant says, I heard JJ told Disney not everyone will be happy with the Rise of Skywalker, and they made him do reshoots as late as September.
Yeah, the reshooting rumors have been going on for a while.
Yeah.
I don't have any reason to believe they're not true, but it depends on who you talk to as far as whether or not they're done. I know JJ hinted at it the other day on some interview he did. He's just saying they're still working on it. I don't know what that means, but I believe it that it's not done, because I mean everything that's been shown so far just looks like a boring mess to me. And when I say that, I'm just going by what I've been shown in the 3 trailers and the TV spots.
That shit looks like a DVD rental.
I actually saw something I've never seen before the other day, and I might have mentioned it. My boy Tyrone Magnus, he does reactions.
Yeah.
he watched one of those TV spots, and he afterwards he was pissed at the people that recommended it to him. He was like, "Man, don't waste my fucking time like that again. That was such a piece of shit. Boring, nothing new."
It's true, man. It's true. It looks horrible, man. And like I said, Disney has this Mandalorian thing, and I feel that when these SJWs come and attack this shit, we have to protect this shit, man. This is like the only thing that's given us this feel.
I tell you this, watching comparing like the Mandalorian to Star Wars Resistance, that show, oh my god, it's night and day.
I hear that shit is horrible. Resistance.
The last episode I watched, the lead character, Kaz, the pilot,
the starstruck dumbass, as I call him.
There is like I kid you not. In the last episode I saw, he's a klutz. You know, he's always like tripping over himself or like getting electrocuted.
Trying to redo Jar Jar in a human being, basically.
Yeah, basically. Well, he's trapped in a former Sith temple with this archaeologist woman. She's like 75 years old, and she's literally manhandling him. Because like she's like acting like, well, you know, I mean, I agree with her. Yeah, Kaz is a klutz and an idiot, but she's like, you know, she grabs him by his shirt and she's like picking him up like he weighs like 10 pounds or something like that.
Damn.
And I'm like, this guy's such a, you know, like if I was 5 years old, I wouldn't find him cool. You know, I mean, I would find a Mandalorian cool if I was 5 years old. You know, if I'm going back to my 5-year-old self, not this Jar Jar in human form Kaz.
The first season of Resistance never struck me as being too full of any agenda per se. It's just a kid's show, but at the same time, it's just dumb. They're on this platform out in the water. He meets Princess Leia in the first episode, and he becomes starstruck. That's why I call him a starstruck idiot. He's like that. Oh my God, you're Princess Leia! I never thought I was gonna meet you.
Now in the second episode, because the station is like a ship. They're going around the galaxy, and the First Order's chasing them. It's similar to Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, season 1 ends with the First Order blowing up the Hosnian system in the first Force Awakens, but there's just a whole lot of nothing in that show,
and that's why I will never get into it.
It's just that the lead is just, you know, just awful. He's such a klutz.
It's a non-Force Ezra basically, but the Mandalorian, I do worry. I worry that they're going to get a hold of it, or that, you know, we're going to. Certain people have said that the show could end with something bad as far as we're concerned.
Yeah, like a Game of Thrones, like they did with Game of Thrones. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
It was all good until the end. The end, they fucking SJW'd the shit out of that.
And then, what was I going to say? It's something about that show. Oh, I would want to actually look at Anita and say, you know what? Will you please tell me how adding what you want added to the show is going to make it better?
Right.
Please explain that to me.
And you know what she'll do? She'll be like, "Oh, typical male questioning a woman over her opinions, right?" But then this is where I turn around and tell her, "Yeah, but you know what? You see, you want your opinion to be a fact. You want the shit that you're conjuring up in your little fucking sick ass mind. You want it to come true, and you want to get rid of everybody else's fucking thoughts and feelings and emotions behind this. No, bitch."
I can't believe people listen to her. That's, you know.
I can't believe she has a following. I think whoever follows her is a fucking idiot.
She got all that money in the beginning when she did that show that she never delivered on, by the way.
Yeah. She's a fucking
con artist.
A con artist, a scam artist. She's everything, bro. She's a fucking conniving ass bitch too, man. And you can sue me, like I said, sue me. Trust me. You can come on down, Anita. Come on down.
When she went to that convention and she called Sargon of Akkad a garbage human being.
What?
Even he had never said anything to her. He just happened to be in the audience watching her speak. She was on a panel. Wow. She spotted him and she's like, "That garbage human being over there."
Wow.
Yeah, that convention was weird, but I mean, Sargon made some other friends that were actually liberals, so
Yeah,
it depends on who you meet and who you get to know, and you know.
very true. Very
But
true. But she's a piece of shit though for doing this,
mhm.
and everybody else who's marching along with her and are trying to put agendas to this. Like it's like, this is our one thing, bro. And you want to come fucking. I hope Disney. Look, if Bob Igor, I'm not gonna say Iger. If Bob,
Biker.
yeah, I'm not gonna say Iger. If Bob Igor, you know, if he's really as pissed as they're saying he is, and he wants changes and he wants the right feel to it, well, you better start protecting and start off with the Mandalorian. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
just start deflecting these motherfuckers. Don't cater to them anymore, because now what's gonna happen is Bob fucking Igor is gonna be racist now.
Yeah.
Once he turns back to our side, he's gonna be misogynistic. He's gonna be transphobic. He's gonna be everything that they're calling us.
Of course.
You know?
By
Well,
virtue of having a penis.
you know what she would be saying if this character, if this Mandalorian character was a woman, she'd be like saying like, "Oh, she's struggling in a man's world. She's like, like she's got to work for a male boss. The Grief Karga character.
Not enough supporting women.
Yeah, not enough supporting women. Like she's got to like fight against these poor animals. That's what she would be saying if the character was female instead of male. That's what this Anita person would be saying.
That and Lucasfilm really did a 1-2 punch with Mandalorian and with Fallen Order. That game is, you want to talk about diversity, that game is beautifully balanced in that sense. And I don't want, she was attacking video games back in the day. That's how she got her start. I don't want that game series fucked up, because they really have struck gold this time, and that game is very open for a damn sequel or expansion material.
Yeah. That's a great game, man. That shit, that game, I'm glad they took their time making it. They didn't rush it, It doesn't feel like a rush
it has a male lead. He's an anti-hero. He didn't turn out to be trans. I was kind of waiting for that, like halfway through but
turn him into a transformer
or something like that.
Well, yeah. I don't mean to sound like a bad person, but that I don't know her name, but that female, she's not that attractive looking. In
Siri?
Yeah, she's got like bug eyes.
I don't think she's supposed to be. She's actually based on a real life actress who is also in Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. The woman who plays her actually has those giant eyes. I forget her name.
Yeah, that lady used to be in Living Color.
She's a very intense actress.
Yeah, but she was a comedian. She was a comedian at first. She used to be on in Living Color.
I didn't know her character was based on an actual person. I thought they were going for like an ugly is beautiful or something.
Nah, these days it's Deborah Wilson. These days they get real actors to come in and they put the dots on their face and shit so they can get that range of emotion out of their face in the game.
Yeah, just like they did with that guy that plays Daryl on The Walking Dead with this new game that came out.
Yeah.
There's
a game, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's called Beyond Two Souls. That one's got who was the dude in the first Spider-Man movie, the bad guy, the Green Goblin, Dafoe.
William Dafoe, yeah.
Yeah, he's in there. I mean, you could tell it's him too. It's unmistakably him. And Ellen Page, I like her.
Yeah, they sell their likenesses and shit for the video games.
Right, you can. It's the new way to make money. But I don't want a game like Fallen Order to get fucked with, because like I said, the Disney's in a stride where they're really pushing two products that are going to be around long after the Rise of Skywalker, as long as they keep playing their cards right.
Yep.
See, because after the Rise of Skywalker, this is it.
Yeah, that's it.
These two things, they're going to be, what it is going forward.
Right, right.
I mean, there's the Kenobi show, but we don't know nothing about that yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want one, to say the truth. And I don't even care if Ewan McGregor's behind it. Oh, we lost Mister Pete.
Well, hopefully he'll be back.
Yeah.
No, I have not been vocal about it, but I don't see any reason for a Kenobi show. Kenobi, his life has been told like almost damn near from start to finish. Just you're getting an older Ewan McGregor in there. What else you gonna do with him? I mean, he's supposed to be sitting in hiding on Tatooine, guarding Luke Skywalker. I mean, he can't be drawing attention to himself because he doesn't want the Emperor Vader to sense him there.
Right.
And figure out where he is. Now, we've already loosely established that Maul went there and finally got his ass handed to him for the final time, and that should be it. We shouldn't be risking any more like contact with him. So, what else is he going to do? We gonna watch him read books, take a shit? It's
Yeah,
like
man.
I've got my sand dune out back here. There's a hole in the ground where I take a dump.
You wanna watch me? Bzzz.
Hello there.
Oh man, but
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
yeah, hell yeah, man. Before we split, bro, I just like I said, man, guys, take care of this movie. You know what I mean? Take care of just look. Everybody needs to take care of everything that you care for, man. Especially with the Star Wars and anything that's a franchise that you hold dearly to your nostalgic heart, bro. You need to stand up for this shit, even if you got to make a live, even if you got to write a fucking letter like they do. It doesn't matter. Just stand up for it because nobody else will, man. Nobody else will. Like a lot of people, they rather go with the change instead of keeping the flow. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
why they're fucked up. A lot of people, a lot of people let go of friendships over stupid shit
Yeah.
like this. You know what I mean? I, for one, over this Star Wars shit, have lost already like three fucking friends over this bullshit. You know what I mean? One of them, I'm waiting for her to come back to her goddamn senses, but I'm just gonna wait a couple of more months. But you know what I mean? Like it just gets to the point, like, you know, do not become how do you say? Do not become uh do not become, just very attached to something that you're and they already showed us twice that they ruined it. So, don't get attached to anything that's gonna be released by the same company, the same product the third time. Fool you once, right? Fool you
Mhm.
twice. Now the third time, it's gonna be to a point where it's like, oh shit, they actually gave me the dick up the ass. I should have been cautious. That's what's gonna happen to a lot of people. A lot of people are gonna go into this thinking whatever the hell they got information from somebody else or whatever they're reading or whatever they're thinking, and when they go sit down and watch this piece of shit, bro, I'm telling you, a lot of these guys are gonna be on suicide watch. You know?
Yeah, the media reports, and I will say for those of y'all that are sick of waiting and just want it to be over with, so that you know one way or the other what happens. We should know in 2 to 3 more weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the week before, there's December the 20th, but there will be the week before when the shill media gets to
In
have
Japan.
their yeah, Japan too. But the shill
Yes.
media will get like 2 weeks out. They'll get the sneak preview, and somebody will break the damn NDA like they did last time, and they'll tell us what's going on in the
Yep.
film. It'll be
Yep.
the person that gives the bad review like last time.
Yep. And that's the person that we gotta actually, what I'm saying, praise for actually standing in front of all of the motherfucking crazy bastards that are gonna be watching that. It's gonna be so crazy, man. It's gonna be so crazy. But I'm otherwise than that, man, you guys, thank you, Mr. Pete. Thanks, Maze, man, for stopping by and hanging out with me, man. I appreciate you guys, and as
My
well,
pleasure.
yeah, definitely, as well as everybody in the chat, man, who joined me, even though you're into boxing, I can tell that you're here and you're into Star Wars. I'm glad to, deliver it with you along with my other Star Wars friends here. Otherwise than that, man, I'll be back in about 2 days with late night boxing talk for you boxing heads. And also, I'm gonna try to get you guys together so we can bring you guys the male toxicity show, but it's gonna be called the Boys of Toxicity. All right, guys. Yeah, definitely, Mr. Pete. I'll send you an invite that day. Definitely.
Okay, yeah. If I'm not doing anything else, definitely.
You got it.
Everybody have a good night.
All right. Good night, man. May the
Later.
force be with you guys, man.
Bye.
Peace.